Wait, what are we doing? Well,
Ooh,
I just woke up from a coma. What's happening?
we're live.
It is the year
avast and ahoy and
2021.
g'day once again to ye mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a canyon full of pleasure to welcome ye once again to the Humblewood. Above me, I have me hearty crew, the knowledgeable Rachel Foucar, the knavish Mitch Earnshaw, the nobly Dan Suelto, and the knackered AJ Winters. And behind the scenes today, we have the knockabout Serum 76. Look me in the eye, tell me it's not true, AJ.
No, it is true. It's very true. Do you see these dark circles? Literally.
I did not. I wasn't wanting to draw attention to that.
Why wasn't I the knob jockey?
Anyway. Because I don't know that about you. Good to know, though. We must also shout out our knife-like artist, Breepie, whose artwork you can see on the screen right now, and the deck of many who are the minds behind this particular setting. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. We have a special guest back with us tonight. Roll for Damage's resident bad dad himself, the knightly Sean O'Donovan. I am also overjoyed to announce that Wooden Forge are back on board as our sponsors for another season. They design and manufacture high-quality wooden tabletop gaming products using beautiful Australian and exotic hardwoods like Jarrah. Yes. Oh, it's so sexy.
Don't rub your face on it. That's weird.
Why? It's mine. It's got my name on it and everything.
Face oils are gonna get into
It's already got oil. You leave me alone, woman. All right.
Wow, what a president.
Today's episode is already weird as fuck.
Next line in the script.
Rachel, Rachel, tell me who you are and this is where you are from.
Hello, yes. My name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer, actor, creative trash at large. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Rachel Foucar. It's all one handle because I've got a weird name. I'm the best. I also have a book that I wrote. It's called The Rings of Mars. It's a sci-fi book, and you should get it if you like to read and want to make me smile.
I enjoy both of those things, and I have read the book, so I can confirm. It did make me do one of the others, and Rachel one of the others. Next, Mitch, tell me who you are and where we can find you.
Hello, I am Mitch Earnshaw. You can find me here in this chair right now. But you can also find me on Twitter at Mitch_Earnshaw, where I just share things that amuse me, that tickle my fancy. And this evening, I'm back with some daddy issues and happy to play Nevermore once more. And so wonderful to see all those peasants in the chat. Thank you for coming.
It's lovely to have you, peasants. And our highborn viewers as well. Dan, tell me about yourself and where we can find you.
Hi, I am Dan. I am D-Rep on Twitch chat and on Roll for Damage's Discord, and just vibing around everyone else's stuff because they're awesome and you should all support them and send me cat pics. Also, I might be angry today, but not me. It's Benneck. He's been through a lot.
Yeah. I've only seen Dan angry once, and that was because of a lack of kittens. AJ, tell me about yourself and where we can find you.
Pics.
I feel like we need context first.
I refuse. That was fun.
Okay. Okay. I'm AJ Winters. I'm a creative person from WA, and I do world building videos over on my YouTube channel, Winter's Tales, where I'm slowly building a world one step at a time that I'm going to host and DM a game in next year. I'm very pumped for it. Tonight, though, I am playing chaotic munchkin Jude.
I really enjoyed that your mic gave out about halfway through.
Yeah, I was like,
I bet it
no.
No.
My eardrums enjoy that fact too, to be honest.
And Sean, Mr. Daddy Issues himself, tell us who you are and where we can find you.
Hello, everybody. I am Sean O'Donovan. I am from Paradise RPG, where I am the DM for our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise. And I do a bunch of other creative stuff over there and have a bunch of fun, dirty fun. I play Lazarus.
Did you hear what I heard?
I said nerdy fun.
Oh,
But-
nerdy. I did not hear that.
I heard dirty fun.
Yeah,
dirty
you know,
fun.
when I paint miniatures and do my own world building.
But I don't wash my hands
Ooh.
afterwards.
Never.
Dirty.
World building difficulty.
You're nasty.
You're nasty.
But I am playing Lazarus, and I play Orc on Fridays or Saturdays for Scales Above. That's what that thing's called. And we are not doing it this week because we're on a mid-season break, but I will be DMing a game of Quest with some folks from Roll for Damage for the next 3 Fridays or Saturdays your time. Very excited and very tired right now, but waking up.
I'll be there. Yeah, cool. Yeah, and I am Josh the Pirate, and I'll be playing Quest with Sean on Saturday. That's exciting for me. I've never played Quest before. This is the best week to learn how to do that as well, because I'm also launching Corsair's Cove, my Twitch channel, this weekend on Sunday with an enormous 12-hour charity stream in which everyone except, I'm sorry, Mitch is I'm going to be playing.
Ow.
Oh no, we have to.
It wasn't
resolve
really a
this as well.
deliberate snub. It actually only just occurred to me.
He just
Yeah.
died. No.
There he is.
Mitch, no!
He needs your recognition, Josh.
I love him so much. I didn't want to burn him out by making him play too much D&D.
Good cover.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're going to be raising money for childhood cancer support and International Talk Like a Pirate Day. So it'd be awesome to see everybody in chat there as well, in chat. And yeah, throwing up the love. However, Mitch is going to come over and play on Corsair's Cove next Wednesday when we do our twisted, backwards, Humblewood alternate version.
Bizarre Humblewood!
Bizarro
Yes,
Humblewood.
yes,
There you go. I told you I'd get him over there. So yeah, otherwise you can find me in Perth as an actor and creative. I am a puppeteer and generally producer around Fringe, and I am part of the There Be Dragons podcast. We're a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scairn Felspar, or his little dragon Crush. There you are. You know this story. Okay. I must also remind our pert, firm, and almost elastic audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things. We have the socials that you can catch up on, and all the episodes are on YouTube. It's also worthy to note the Spellfire bar at the bottom of the screen. And I should tell you all, it has been changed. It now fills up a lot faster.
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
A simple $250 donation will cut, like, just smack it up right now. You could just do that.
What?
You can do it right now. You just set it off again.
Why?
Disintegrate
That's
more
like-
of Benneck's
That's
items?
like affordable.
Oh
That's
my
actually like,
God.
yeah.
No.
And Benneck's all out of magic items, so that could be real bad.
Any
And
sugar
we-
daddies in the chat want to make us suffer? Go ahead.
I regret.
Yeah, we dare
gifting
you,
that
sugar
sum already.
daddies. We dare you.
We've done it twice, well, 3 times in Humblewood now, but all 3 times it was
A bit
like
of Findom.
fine. Yeah. All right. Well, I think it would be just jolly for someone to look off into the void and talk for a few minutes. How are we feeling? Anybody up for it?
Can I look into the void, please?
Do it. Yeah.
Yes,
I think
Benneck still needs to catch up.
Benneck's doing a bit of void looking. All right.
Oh my god, is this going to be an angsty void look? I'm
Oh
so
my god,
cross.
he's gonna be
I
so
can
cross.
see
Here we
it
go.
already on Benneck's face. Yes, I
We
think
need to change the
this
music.
is what we're
for this.
prepared for. Strap yourselves in, kids.
All right, so after getting the Borealis, it seemed fucking prudent to go back to Elder Hut to get the plan straight, yeah? So easily only have one shot at this, and the more information we have, the better. And we arrived at a town with a sickly, simmering stench of unease. The tension is palpable and disappointment immeasurable, as apparently, in our absence, fire elementals have gotten arrogant and attacked the comparatively vulnerable refugee camp outside the city walls. The populace was at boiling point with understandable reason. I mean, you know, they were threatened. And thankfully, with the wintry physical symbol now in our hands of hope realized and heralded by Trish Caper herself with her resonating speech, helped set everyone at ease. But time is against us. That's not going to last long. We discussed the plan with the council, lured the fuck off elemental fire shit in the circle of stopping. and stab it with the Borealis. They feel better about the consistency of the plan when Lazarus is very adamantly confident that he knew where it was because he's been there before or something ominous like that. We went to get our weapons blessed because, you know, we're going to fight Foucar fire. And also talk to Lady Susie. Oh, well, right, only Lazarus, rather, because we needed a second caster alongside the Dean to keep the circle active or something. We went... Well, Susie needed a bunch of materials, actually, for potion making, and we helped get it. We all split up to save time. Trish got to stretch her less legal muscles and secured a potential cocktail date for the tricaps. And Nevermore with Lazarus got to the... Well, Lazarus is just off to the side, really, when Nevermore just kind of yelled at the citizens to bring them black sage and pickled herring. And Jude and I got the cauldron from Susie's old tent. Surprisingly, I was expecting a fight because of, you know, fire elementals being arrogant and all. But unexpectedly, the fire elementals were actually quite respectful in giving us space when Jude asked me about romance and Trish's juice mixing metaphor. Upon returning, Susie started mixing the potion. And for the Skyleaf, we used the one that's been absorbing the ambient power around the Borealis, much like the woman living brain rent-free on Nevermore's socket. And afterwards, a sickly green light erupted from the cauldron and healed Susie, which is great for her and the plan, but also stripped me of anything magical, including my book, which I must ask God before I finish. Does it, if I have a non-magical thing in the book, did that get disintegrated too?
Oh, no, Benneck, of course not. This is God speaking.
God.
And no, and nothing in the book got disintegrated except for the book itself.
Awesome. Cool. That's what all I needed to know.
bookmarks are
And
safe.
that's it.
I'm a kind of benevolent God, and I don't like giving without taking as well, or the other way around.
Void confession over.
Yeah, there you are. Go void confession over. Amazing. Well,
Well done.
mateys, may
Very
your
edgy.
sexual health lessons be clear and unambiguous, and all your magical possessions signally fail to turn into dust as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So, mateys, the wood is burning. The people are terrified, and Benneck has just suffered a slightly unfortunate magical mishap. Super great situation to be in just before a major battle. So,
Yeah.
our heroes are in the halls of the tenders and have just gotten Susan back on her feet at some minor cost to themselves.
What's with all the
And-
sand, Benneck? There's like a pile of sand on the ground near your feet.
Yeah.
How are you carrying sand around?
Nope. I wish I carry sand around as I stare at the thing. I kind of like start to pile them up together and then probably go, I'll do an inventory check on what else fucking turned to sand. Because I haven't actually seen that my potions
that.
and stuff got fucking wrecked. And then I put 2 and 2 together, and then all of a sudden he just starts to almost like sift through the sand, like maybe, just maybe looking through it. And
you pull out the hilt of your dagger, but not the blade.
Okay. And he also pulls out it looks like a folded piece of paper. It's very like flat from and well creased, like it hasn't been unfolded in a while.
Yeah, right.
What's going on? What, what's with all the dust and sand?
Yeah, well, I look, it might have been the triform caps if they were cured for something other than medicinal purposes. And I apologize, I should have been more specific. Foolish of me to assume that you would go to an apothecary for them. Well, dear, it was dreadfully kind of you to go and get my cauldron for me. So, well, look, I don't think I have any real need of it anymore. So perhaps this might help you out. And she takes out the hilt of a different dagger. And it says, a gift for the favor. And she hands it to you, Benneck.
Is there a blade attached to it,
Before
or
he
is it
goes
just
to
the hilt
touch
of
his,
another
like-
dagger?
Is it magic?
I all of the green glow has already stopped. So she's like, it should be fine now.
Are you sure?
She picks up a stone off the floor and casts light on it and gives it to you to hold.
Hold it.
And it stays lit. And she goes,
Okay. Yep.
She does wipe the brow, just like, phew, good catch, good thought, well done. Here, have this.
Oh, what does it do?
I'm really sorry. She says, well, it is the hilt of a dagger, not the whole thing, just a hilt. It is wooden and apparently hand carved. The quillions are inlaid with mother of pearl, and the whole thing has a very natural feel to it. Make me a perception check.
Perception.
Perception.
Perception. Just change that. Bam.
Bam. Nice. Yeah, that'll do it. You take it and it's been worn smooth by like decades of use. So it is incredibly it's like the wood, you know, in like really old buildings when like the banister rail has been just generations of people have run their hands along it as they go up and down the stairs, and it's just been worn smooth by consistent use. That it's got, the wood has that texture to it. But it initially you would say you think it looks like it's been carved, but it's actually that there are tiny images in the grain of the wood. It's kind of like a cartoon. There is a strig with a sword, a corvum in armor, a hedge with a staff, and a servant with a huge axe. And these images depict them vanquishing several other very frightening looking things. On one side, in the center of the quillions, is a dark purple gem. And on the other side is a pearl. So it's sort of basically it's a T shape, the quillions being the top of it. And then on either side, there's these two gems, one on either side. And the quillions are mother of pearl inlaid all along the top. And then all the way spiraling down the actual handle is these images. And she says, go on, dear, have a go. And you find
I move
that...
to a emptier, where there's arm swing room in the room.
Sure.
And then I go for a stab or something.
You find that when you hold it very naturally, the tip of your thumb sits at the gem.
Okay.
And yeah, do with that what you will.
How does it work? It's like, it's not a button. Buttons aren't a thing.
It is a button.
Oh, I push it, and I'm like, buttons aren't a thing.
Which one do you press?
The white one, the pearl one.
The white one. You press the pearl. A glowing white blade erupts from the hilt, about 10 inches long.
I can't possibly take this. As you I start to like hand it back.
As soon as you take your finger off the button. In fact, actually, if you take your finger off the button, it still stays glowing. You have to press the button again to turn it off again. And she says, "No, I couldn't possibly. It was really my fault, and I feel so much better.
It's not like you did that on purpose. It's not anybody's fault, really. It's just
Well, it
accident.
might have
That's
been. It
all.
might
It's
not
just-
have been the triform caps. I should have. It might have been that skyleaf.
push the
Plus,
button. Thanks.
a warrior needs a weapon, and I'm not a warrior anymore.
I put it
so-
where the book used to be.
Benneck, you now have a +1 magical dagger that, rather than doing physical damage, it does radiant damage. Do you try the other button?
Yes.
A dark purple blade erupts from the hilt instead. This is necrotic damage. Same thing.
Oh.
It's a variable dagger. In fact, it is called Susan's variable dagger. And
That
it
is
has
quite
basic-
cool.
Nevermore, you've actually seen this before. Probably a long time ago when you were a kid. Susan was making it at the time. She was like, the blade itself already worked, but she was using her not inconsiderable druid crafting skills to inscribe the tales of Lazarus and his friends' adventures into the hilt.
It's a little bit of history in that, isn't there?
More than a little bit.
I can see it.
Take care of
Very
it.
cool.
Well,
So you're feeling better, are you, Suze?
she is actually in the process of taking off the bandages, and she is looking better than she has looked in years.
Good.
There is a vitality to her. She says, "Oh, goodness me, I'm going to regret this in a few days." After the initial high wears off.
Well, a few days is all we need.
Exactly. He sounds just like you. Well, splendid. Shall we?
Well, we're leaving in the morning, so
No, we are not.
Nope, we're not.
Nope. I told
We're
people
leaving-
tonight we're doing it tonight. We can walk in the dark.
It's not dark.
Uh,
It's not going to be dark.
We did tell the council we were going tonight, yes.
okay, fine,
there a
okay. I was hoping
window?
for another double bath, but it is what it is.
Is there
You
a
have a
window
bath
here?
when we win.
Yeah, there is a window. Not
we
in
can
this
have
room,
4
but
baths
yeah.
when we win.
Oh.
4 baths.
We can drown you when we win if you really want.
Oh, you think you're so funny, don't you, Trish?
Jude thinks I'm funny.
You're funny
Yeah.
looking. All right,
You're right,
let's
Benneck?
go.
Nevermore. What time is it?
I'll close my
About-
eyes momentarily. It's
Midday.
it's midday.
I walk over to Trish quietly, trying to. I know it's the one. We're all in the same room, quietly, just like looking at Trish, like close, eye contact. Like, can you please just keep an eye on Lazarus for me? Just till tonight.
Okay, will do.
Oh, where are we meeting? Just outside or something?
We'll meet at the gates.
Yeah, sure.
The way out.
Oh, yep. I'll. If you
You okay?
excuse me. Yeah. I'm fine. Totally fine. As he's like drifting towards the door,
Sure.
Sure.
it's like,
Oh,
Lady Susie.
that was weird.
Lazarus.
But
on
Lazarus
this.
is right
Bye.
here.
Benneck goes.
And then you hear like definitely
Running.
casual footsteps and then running.
Huh.
odd.
Odd guy.
Yes, very, very odd guy.
Maybe it
Yeah.
is because I asked him about the juice.
About the
You-
what, sorry?
Juice.
Should I have not asked him about the juice?
What juice?
No, you can
Jude.
ask whoever you like, I suppose.
The juice. What? No, whoa. What are we talking about here?
O.J.
Juice?
Simpson, right?
I don't know anything about the juice.
Speaking
What
of
is this
liquids,
juice?
I think we need to like sort out some potions before we leave. Was that somewhere on our agenda?
Well, actually, I should
I think
probably
there was-
distribute these. And she's holding like a half dozen potions. She's like, "So I'll meet you a little bit later, all right?" And she sort of bustles out of the room and presumably to administer them.
Yes, we're to get potions provided to us by the council. So hopefully they come to us. We've still got a couple hours, don't we?
Should we see
Yeah.
if Eliza has any weapons?
We don't have any money.
Oh,
We haven't made any money since the last time we went to the shop, so we're not going to really be able to buy anything. I think potentially I should go have a bath.
okay.
Yeah, I think you should. That's a great way to spend like 8 hours.
Correct.
So, Trish, there's a hunky map etch down in the undercommons
Oh.
if you want something to spend your afternoon doing. But you have been asked to
Jude.
watch Lazarus.
Jude, come here. Jude.
Yes.
I have somewhere I need to go. Could
Okay.
you watch Lazarus for me?
Sure.
Don't let him escape or do anything bad, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Great. I'll see you guys later, all right? Bye.
Trish is just going to go and do something about juice.
I am
Oh,
so
Father.
confused.
Father, I forgot to mention. I spoke to Riffin's cousin, the one who owns the establishment, and apparently Riffin is not here. He has gone to help some of the humble folk who are affected by the fires. So no Riffin, unfortunately. Just thought you should know.
You see Lazwood look a little disappointed.
Hmm.
A little sadness on his face. That makes sense. Good. Well, looks like I'm free to go. I'll look over
No.
at Jude.
No. No. I am your protector now.
Protect.
Dude takes out a sword
Wait.
and holds it against your neck.
Protector indeed.
Well,
You don't go
Jude,
anywhere, okay?
Jude, that's not necessary. You're putting a sword to my father's throat.
Uh-huh.
You may find moving it is difficult, Nevermore.
Yeah. I was
Jude
just like
is
pushing into it.
markedly
I'm
stronger than
"Ooh,
you."
wow."
I
Okay,
take it
well,
away, but it is here, okay?
great. We have to deal with this now.
Uh,
Okay.
Should we go eat muffins?
Lazarus will misty step over to the door,
Jude runs.
just with a smile at Jude, and opens the door and says, "Muffins sound excellent."
Okay, and then we play hide and seek.
Jude, Jude. Real quick question. What's this
Yeah?
juice you're talking about?
Oh,
Am
right.
I not in on some sort of secret?
I don't
Because now
know.
you've told Benneck and you've told Trish.
No, Trish told me, and I asked Benneck, but maybe you could tell me.
About what juice?
So, I asked Trish how lovemaking is, or what it is, and Trish told me that it is like making a cocktail with 2 types of juice that combine and makes babies.
Nevermore, in your head,
What?
you hear Irilath go, "You should just tell her. Someone should just tell her." Just be completely honest.
Jude, that's a load of, well, you know how you've spoken to us a few times that we should treat you like you're an equal, like you're an adult, yes?
Because I am an adult, yes.
Correct, you are, yes. Trish was not doing that.
Oh.
So, basically, when a man loves a woman...
Why are you singing?
No,
sorry,
I said be honest and clear.
Boys have penises and girls have vaginas. And God, I'm turning red.
You've
Father,
started
help.
now. You have to finish this.
Father, help.
What is a vagina?
Okay. Shit. I really shouldn't have asked about the juice. I'm not prepared.
Nevermore.
For this.
Can you make me an Arcana check, please?
Sure. $12.
Okay. Omi, can you roll me a d20 in chat, please? Proceed.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Lazarus is gonna put a hand on his son's shoulder and be like, Jude, is no family members have ever told you about how reproduction works?
No, my family members put me in cupboards and used to light my tail on fire.
That sounds about right. Oh well,
Ugh.
my son here is
Lazarus.
correct.
I think I've got a headache.
Lazarus, Nevermore's eye is glowing.
Son.
Are you
Yeah.
okay? You talked about penises and then your eye glowed.
Jude, you get a very vivid and completely anatomically correct explanation, like straight into your head. And you now know and I want to be very specific, exactly what Nevermore meant by penises and vaginas.
You okay, Jude?
And then Nevermore, you hear in your
truthfully.
head, there, now I've told her.
Wait, what?
And a clarification is that in Corvum and other bird folk, there's a cloaca. Just a little bit different.
Huh?
Yeah, as she was getting that whole vision, I imagine Laz was explaining
Describing
as well.
it auditorily at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay, Jude? Does that clear things up?
So the juice is literal juice.
Yes.
Yes. The man juice to the woman.
Yes, in the same way a hot dog is a sandwich.
Oh God, I'm
Yes,
going
yes,
to need
and-
3 baths. One to wash
And
my
the eggs.
mind.
And the eggs inside of the vagina.
Very
And
different
the
eggs from our
penises.
eggs.
Right.
But the same.
Because you lay eggs like out of the vagina.
Yes.
What?
And then they're tended to. Did I never clarify that
How on
for
earth did
you,
you know
Nevermore?
that? What?
Oh.
Oh, I
Welcome,
watched
Unusual
it.
Archer. Welcome. Thank you for the raid.
Good timing.
We don't-
Amazing timing. Welcome. We are currently explaining sex to a 5-year-old who's an adult.
5-year-old Jabine, adult
person.
woman.
Adult woman. And because we're in danger of Sean having to stay for another week at least, let's move on.
Yeah.
Did
We
I
get back
see,
there.
for
I'll just run off.
clarification,
You
did
saw
Jude
what it would
see,
be if a Jabine did it.
I saw Jabine sex.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Not
Okay.
you. I want to be specific. It's
No.
neither Jabines you have ever seen. A man and a woman Jabine that you are not familiar with.
But it wasn't
Having
just like
consensual,
diagrams.
pleasurable sex.
I saw
No, no.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw everything.
Okay, to clarify, Jude's reaction is very different. Jude starts shaking and runs out the room.
Ah.
I guess I am.
Great.
I mean, technically you are father, but I get this. I assume you're going to be sticking around, at least for this part.
Well,
Jude walks back in. Don't go.
I think she's more dangerous now.
Take it away, DM Josh.
Okay. I actually have in my notes resolve this interaction. That was not what I intended. The mood in the city is electric. Birdfolk and humblefolk from all walks of life work hand in hand, although actually most of the time just next to each other, because if they were working hand in hand, they wouldn't get anything done. With the Perch Guard distributing weapons and armor to any volunteer, those who cannot fight are readying supply lines and bucket brigades to help people at the front lines. Combat the fires and support the defenders of Alderheart. And everyone in Alderheart is doing their best to pitch in wherever they can. Trish, what do you do?
Is there any obvious thing I can do to help? Because I feel like
probably dozens. Given the things I just described.
Okay, well, we have 8 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go kill 1 hour. Saying hello to my new friend.
Cool. You go back down and look for steals. You find steals. Roll me a performance check and we'll move on.
Oh, yeah, performance check.
Performance
I need
check,
to change
Trish.
the title of this episode to All About the Juice.
Can you roll a performance check as well, Josh?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does steals do?
No, tell you what. Nelderberry, can you roll me a d20 in chat, please?
I'm good.
Make it a good one.
Get some. Trish got a 17.
She's a little distracted. She's usually better than that.
And
13.
Okay.
Not bad.
All right.
Yeah, that's how. Oh no, I asked for Nelderberry. He got a 7.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, that tracks.
Listen.
He's
You had
really
such potential, but listen, get some practice in. Maybe we'll try again later. But have a good apocalypse. I'm gonna go up and help now. Bye.
Look, I would. Can I be clear? A 17 and a 7 average out reasonably well. You have perfectly serviceable pre-apocalypse sex. All right.
Perfectly serviceable. All right.
Look, it's been a while.
That's what happens when you steal kisses.
Yeah. There you are. You've got something. You've got a lot on your mind as well, Trish. I think.
This is true.
He definitely does. And is, if anything, he seems a little intimidated by you. All right. What does everybody else do in the 8 hours before before this whole apocalypse? Benneck, what are you doing? You seemed busy. You seemed like you needed to do something.
Yeah, he, after running out of the wherever we were, where were we? The temple.
You were in the halls of the tenders.
Yeah. He pockets the new dagger he has, and he's kind of moves it from where his book was into the bag, just so in case maybe stuff might go wrong again. And he goes around town at full speed. He checks his money and sees how much he has, which isn't much, but then he angrily almost stops one of the people to just be like, "Where's the blacksmith?" It's like, point me in the direction.
They do.
And then he tries to just parkour glide if he has to down.
Glide's easier. Yeah, you can totally glide down to it. Yeah.
He gets there. He does a lot of shopping and he's got a lot of his list, and just to skip it over, he wants to find the dean, and he wants to go back without getting the defenders or Lazarus involved, to get another dagger re-enchanted. And he goes down to 2 gold really. He spends 8 to get 4 daggers just so he can throw some.
Sure. Yeah, nips back up, gets another. Yeah, getting it enchanted, not a problem. It'll be the same deal. They're good for 2 days.
Just one question mark?
Yeah, they'd happily do all 4.
Okay, yeah, you do all 4. He's like in a full panic.
And then he finds the dean. The dean is
Yeah.
actually at your lodgings.
Okay. He's just like probably panting. He spends his like trip is very inefficient. In his brain, he's like, okay, prioritize this thing and this thing and this thing, but along the way, his movement is just like back and forth around the city, mainly to like burn all of that like excess energy. He's like working out just so like to deal with the emotions, and he basically goes to the dean, and that's like, look, I have to apologize. The manacles you gave me, they turned to dust. Not sure what to do about that. I don't think Lazarus will like squander the mission now because it's pretty important and he wants it resolved. And he goes on a rant. He's like, he doesn't leave room for the dean to like say anything until he like finishes.
Okay, well, yes, not really a problem. Did he know that you had them?
No.
So their existence hasn't really impacted his behavior.
No, of course
And
not.
has he-
But
has he
there
tried to
for
flee?
just in case he decides to do something stupid, right?
I know that. And look, I genuinely don't think Lazarus is a problem right now. I think he's always come off with having the best intentions, just really poorly executed. But there's a lot of us on this trip. I think we can. I don't believe any control is necessary, but I think we can control the man if absolutely required. And they were always a bit of a sort of a last gap. Never mind. Look, what happened? You say they were destroyed, or did you lose them?
No, they were like turned to dust.
Oh my goodness.
Like
What-
Susan's, I don't actually know her. The one with Lazarus's party made potions for us, and this lab came out, and it just
it destroyed those manacles.
yeah, amongst other things.
What else? Come on, boy.
Doesn't
All
say
information is good information. Problem
Doesn't say
solving.
anything,
What's the
doesn't have the
problem?
heart.
What's the problem?
What
What else did it destroy? What?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, and a dagger that was recently blessed, and potions
Oh,
of greater
Benneck,
healing. And I
I'm so-
think that's it. I think that's all of it. I
Well,
checked
look.
my inventory this morning. I don't think, or like right after, and I don't think there's anything else that's missing there. I still have some arrows left, and I just got daggers.
Josh is
before
asking
I got
Dan.
here.
Josh is asking Dan, would the dean be aware of your relationship with your spell book? How important it is to you? Like, obviously, it's important to you, but I'm getting that there's more distress than I would say. So, is there like, would the dean be aware of this level of
I think
upset?
so. Yes.
Alrighty, he calmly
there's-
puts a hand on your arm and says, "Oh, lad. Well, we're setting off at sundown. We have 4 hours. I'm not doing anything." And then he opens the bag, and there's like vellum and stuff in it. Good wizard is always prepared.
I can't possibly. He takes out the piece of folded paper. And he's like, "They're still here. They're not gone."
I'm glad that. Well, look, I'm here to. I'm happily spend this time with you.
Like that.
Well, let's do that then, shall we? let's see what we can remember between us. So the Dean, who is a pretty heckin' good wizard, spends the next 5 hours with Benneck rebuilding a spellbook. From the notes in his own book, from what Benneck can remember of his own book, and Benneck, your spellbook is pretty much back to where it should be. You would lose, I will randomize it, you will lose one second level and one third level spell that you had in there, but otherwise you managed to get it basically all back to full.
I did fully delete them. They're gone in existence.
Okay.
I think you should tell me what the Dean spells would be, and then I'll fill them in, because that seems more appropriate.
That's a better idea. Yeah, alrighty. Gabe Winsworth has... Hang on.
And I would assume it's like still like thinner than his old spellbook because of the time that they have.
Probably. He has Darkness, Hold Person, Ray of Enfeeblement, Counterspell, and Fireball are the ones that you could learn. He also knows Banishment and Stellar Bodies, but you aren't allowed to learn them yet.
No, they're...
And you probably don't have the time.
Too powerful. No.
Yeah.
How many do I get?
You'd get... I'd say you get 4 of those 5. Counterspell, Fireball, Darkness, Hold Person, Ray of Enfeeblement. He also has a bunch of first level ones. Mage Armor, Shield, Sleep, Thunderwave, Detect Magic, and Charm Person. I'd say you can have all of those. But it's more like you can put in what you remember.
Yeah. He remembers the ones that he has in 4 from the Dean spellbook.
Yeah.
So Darkness, Hold Person, Ray of Enfeeblement, 3,
Counterspell, and Fireball. Yeah, don't want Counterspell.
I already know it.
Okay, good. Good. Alrighty. Cool. There we go. Because I am a nice DM who doesn't take without also giving.
But throughout the whole time, Benneck is still like very uneasy getting spells from like another like wizard. Like he didn't feel like he earned it.
Did you have any of those yourself? Did you have any of those before?
I had Hold Person, but everything else was new.
Would have Mage Armor and a shield.
Yeah. No, in which case, I'm sorry, it would be, you'd get Hold Person definitely. And you could
it's just the spells that I did know?
You get 2 of the others.
Oh. Ray of Enfeeblement and the Darkness, because
sure, alrighty.
Unlikely he actually will blow people up with fire.
You probably won't need
fighting fires. Fire.
Fireball is unnecessary.
That's in case.
Fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, don't do that. Definitely doesn't work.
Dean.
He goes, "My pleasure, Benneck. It's been an honor."
Yeah.
The greatest honor of my life has been the teaching of others, and you've been one of my finest students.
I know I'm sad, but you don't have to say that.
I didn't have to say that. Jude, right. Nevermore, Lazarus, what do you do with your day?
Bath. Gone.
Nevermore has a bath. Lazarus, Jude has some processing to do, I think.
Jude is coping. But anytime Jude sees a Jabeen on the street, Jude just like automatically ducks and doesn't look at them, just like.
Yeah, I think Laz takes Jude to get a muffin because he feels bad.
Okay.
Traumatized she is.
Nevermore, while you're lying in your bath, you hear Iolaf in your head. Who has the staff, by the way? Who has the Borealis?
My father.
Yeah, Lazarus has it. Cool.
Jude?
I think it's Lazarus had it. Yes. Jude is with Lazarus.
Lazarus asked me for it because he could see I was struggling.
Nevermore, you hear in your head while you're in the bath, Iolaf says, I may have overdone that.
Yeah, I mean, Jude does not seem okay right now.
Well, at least she knows now.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably better than me having to tell her. Good God.
Well, you started
Juice?
strong.
I did not. Don't talk me up. There was no strong start there. It was just instantly, boys have penises and girls have vaginas. That's all I could think of.
And you hear a sort of a chuckle in your head, like a gentle chuckle in your head, saying, "I'll leave you to enjoy your bath."
In the other room,
It's nice
Jude
having,
is just
it's
looking
nice having
at
company.
Lazarus, dead in the eye as they eat muffins. Why is it so sweaty? Like, I
It's
have
vigorous
fun.
activity.
I have
Trish, you come back
fun.
after the first hour or so. You come back a little sweaty.
But it's like, Trish?
Trish comes in.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a bath real quick and then I'll be down to eat some food.
Jude, make a perception check.
Oh God!
Oh no. Oh no.
Because Jude knows exactly about everything now.
Yeah, Jude knows too much. Continue on with what's happening. I need to get up the fact sheet.
Yeah, so Trish goes upstairs and has a bath. And shortly after Trish arrives, a couple of members of the Perch Guard arrive, stick their head in and put a case of, it's basically a chest, a small chest, on the dining table next to Lazarus and Jude, and says, "We were sent with these for the defenders. There should be one each. I'm afraid that's all that can be spared. Obviously, these are being used a lot right now." And they unlock. No, neither of them are Jobines. Actually, both are birdfolk. One's a raptor,
Okay.
one's a strig, and
Thank you.
they leave.
From the defenders. Thank you.
They both actually turn and bow smartly now. They were just going to leave, but then they turn and leave anyway. Inside are
Potion of
5
healing or greater?
greater healing, one each,
Nice.
functionally, if you want to divide them evenly. Cool.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, dirty 20. Jude, you definitely notice that, like, if unless you could be wrong, but you don't think you are, given how much you know, Trish definitely just went and got laid. Like, you could smell it.
Oh.
You're like, oh, I could smell the juice.
Yeah, did anyone explain recreational juice to Jude?
Jude saw a lot.
I think at
You
this
can-
point I come back from my bath with a spring in my step and start munching on a muffin. Oh, are those potions? Nice. Are you okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This wasn't where I was planning the session to go. Okay. I think we should probably go. Should we go? We go.
Yes.
Tig,
Yeah, let's go.
I'll take. We go? We go. Alrighty. So, yeah, you gather around sundown. It had to be done. I'm sorry. It had to be done. You gather around sundown, and a significant force of Wildwood Brigadiers have been drawn up to escort you out of the city and to where you're going. Basically, Dean Winsworth and Susan are in the center of your group, the former laden with notes and materials for the ritual. And around you, a significantly sized, there's probably a couple of hundred of them, group of brigadiers. Most of them, practically all of them are former bandits. There's a few in there that look like you actually recognize from the bandit keep. One of them is a huge gallus with a mallet. And another is Kesh, who shows up and is actually going to be leading this particular thing. She says something to you, and we have a bit of a special guest to say it as well.
You can't see or hear anything. Cool. Don't worry, we'll get you guys there. You guys save your strength and give him hell from me.
Yay, Cash!
Thank you for the
That's Cash,
inspiration,
everybody.
Cash.
Cash will be appearing on Corsair's Cove next week in a different game. So the dean looks around the group and says, who's going to be doing the diversion? You know, the getting the thing where we want it while the rest of us go and set up, as it were.
Well, all 5 of us, correct? The 5 of us, and then you and Susan are doing the ritual on the runes, correct?
Well, no. We've got to get somebody to lure it towards the thing while everybody else sort of. You don't want to all go because you'll all be exhausted from running.
Should it be Trish because she's fastest?
Yeah, I was about to say, loathed as I am to say it, I should probably be distracting.
Right?
You're good at that.
So we get it into the circle, and then
Yes.
it's closed, right? So it
Yes.
can't get back out.
You have to. The way the process works, you must disable it. Then we get it into the circle. Ideally, if you could get it into the circle and disable it there, but you know it's going to be moving around, and the circle isn't very large. But once it's disabled, we can move it into the circle, and then you lance it with Borealis, which will break it basically and seal it permanently.
Disable. In what way? What are we talking about here?
Beat it up.
Beat it up.
Ideally,
This
ideally
immense,
we're
monstrous. Okay.
Yes, with ideally using as much cold magic as possible.
Okay. How are we all feeling about this, everybody?
Fucking terrible.
Fair.
Fucking perfectly
Lava,
ordinarily.
you're quiet.
Trish, I am also a good distraction. Do you want me to come with you?
I appreciate that, but I
Too
think
easy.
you're better suited to beating the crap out of the thing. Don't worry, I can take care of this.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Before we set off, don't laugh at me. I'm going to attempt magic with this fancy hat that I'm yet to use. It's gonna be. Don't laugh at me.
Why would we
That's
laugh?
me.
Because I've never done magic before. I might fuck
I
it up.
didn't do magic before 2 weeks ago.
Come on, you nerd.
You have been doing magic a bit. Like you've tried this
Yeah,
before. You
so-
tried it on the road.
You've
I
always
did,
guessed
I
the
did.
first spell.
All right. So what do you cast?
All right. First of all, I'm going to cast Aid on Nevermore, Jude, and Benneck.
Well,
Oh.
What does that do?
Extra 5 hit points, I believe.
Ooh.
5 temporary hit points.
And I'm also going to cast Bless on myself, Lazarus, and Nevermore.
Cool. And that
How long does
burns
that
all the
last for?
charges, doesn't it?
That's all of it. Burnt
I
it all.
believe it's an hour. Yeah.
Yes.
How long does Bless last?
A
Oh,
minute.
have I done this too early? Have I fucked up?
You think?
might
I
have
think you
done
blew
it
your
a
load
Bless
little
is
too
too
early.
early, I think. I think
Yeah.
Bless only
Take
lasts a minute.
backsies.
Yes, you blew your load a little bit early there, Trish. But
This is why I haven't done magic before. Look, okay,
No,
that's
that's
what
okay,
I'm
that's
gonna
okay.
do when we get closer to it.
Very well.
well
I don't
done.
know what
well
aid-
organized.
I don't know what the aid one is, but the
It's like
A
an hour.
little premature. I learned that today.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
8 hours increases your current and maximum hit points.
so aid is good. You did aid right. Just
Okay.
hold off on the bless.
I will hold off on Bless.
Cool.
Thanks.
And I
Zone.
will mage armor myself, obviously.
Sure. Presumably Benneck does that as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Before
Father, yeah, you were quiet.
You carry on.
armor's
before yeah, so if Nevermore says that to Laz, it's just it's always this way before a big fight. A lot on the mind.
This is kind of what you were working up towards, wasn't it, really? All that study, prep work?
All of it. Good and the bad.
I'm glad we could approach this together, to be honest.
Yes, I didn't want this to happen, but I am as well glad to.
Be careful out there, please. How are you supposed to escape afterwards, you know?
Yes. I don't think the Joe Bean would allow me to escape.
Just distracted with a muffin. Easy, easy. All right, let's go.
Before
Alrighty.
everyone goes off in their separate ways, Laz would try to talk to Trish before she goes. Away from everyone else. Not away, like he'll, not out of their eyesight. But, well, I know that we've not gotten along. But when you return with the creature during the fight, and I'll hold the Borealis out. Don't let Nevermore near this.
Why not?
Whatever is in his head is obsessed with it, it seems. I saw him earlier in the markets, absent-mindedly caressing the Borealis. I don't think it should be anywhere near him during this fight.
Okay.
And for the ritual, I think I'll hold on to it for this fight. I think from my research, I know best how to and when to plant it in the creature.
Okay.
Good luck.
You too. Good luck.
Alrighty. Cool. Well, yeah. So you all set off. Trish, you lead a group of scouts off to the north, where the aspect was last reported. Around you can see woodland denizens of all kinds fighting. Parts of the forest are ablaze. Bucket brigades desperately try to keep the fires in check, while coordinated teams assault massive ash snakes, bigger even than the one that you met at the beginning of last season. And you specifically crafted nets to drive back swarms of ember bats. A singed and soot-smeared figure dashes over to you and joins your force. It's Foucar.
Hi, Phil.
Oh my god, yes, dude.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Nevermore, you're not there. You're not allowed. It's just Trish, the nicest person in the party.
God
Yeah.
damn it. Fine, I'm not there, but
It's
No, I
over
hate
there. But there's something you should know.
What's up?
It's anything it's near, anything burning that it's near just regenerates it. We tried catapults, we tried like big rocks, and yeah, it seemed we were like, yeah, it's working, but then it just set a whole bunch of trees on fire and stood in the flames and regenerated. So whatever you guys are going to do, don't let it set itself on fire, which is, I know, really dumb advice given that it's on fire, but yeah, don't let it stand in more fire. Anyway, follow me. If it heals itself in forest, it's basically invulnerable.
Okay. Thanks for the update.
So what's the plan? We're gonna lead it somewhere?
Yeah, we're trying to get it into the circle, and then we're going to beat the crap out of it.
Sounds great. Okay. Yeah, Phil and the scouts lead you further into the brush until you can see the blazing form of the aspect lumbering towards Alderheart. It hasn't spotted you yet, but you and your guides are in a hiding place. So, what do you do?
Okay, so is it between us and Alderheart?
Yeah,
Is that,
currently
like-
it's heading at an angle. It's hitting at about a 90-degree angle from the way you want it to be going. You want it to be
Okay.
heading west, and it's currently heading south.
Okay. Oh, this sucks. Okay. Don't attack it unless it looks like it's gonna kill me. We need to get it where it needs to be before we take it out, okay? Just watch my back, but don't attack it till it's where it needs to be, okay, guys?
Sure. Yeah. All right. What do you want us to do?
Just stay close. And
All
if
right.
I go down, someone take my place, all right? We need to get it where it needs to go.
All right, guys.
That's the priority.
Caper here. You follow her, and if she needs it, you do it. Yeah. Everyone's like, yep, nope, yep, yep, yes, sir. Yeah, they sneak. Are you gonna sneak towards it?
How close am I to it? Like,
300 feet. You can. It's big. It's fairly easy to spot from a ways off, and it's just every now and again it seems to be picking up like massive chunks of rock, and then looking at it, and they become like molten in its hand, and then it just throws them. It's been pretty indiscriminate. It's not actually trying to do any damage to anything specifically. It's just setting fires. It's having a lovely time.
okay. I click my boots together and I walk out into the open
Sure, you do that.
and I say,
Yep.
at the top of my lungs, you want to set something on fire, you big stupid beast? Set me on fire! And then I piss bolt.
It turns and looks, and it actually has a distinct you. And actually, can you make me an insight check, please, Trish? The DC is very high, but you might get it.
Okay. 15?
I'm afraid not. No, you don't really. Yeah, it looks like it. You get that it recognizes you. And it begins lumbering towards you, and you zoom away using all of your speed. It picks up speed. It's matching you.
Oh God!
The scouts are like, so you want us to follow it?
Yeah, come on!
The scouts are mostly rogues and rangers, so they're vaguely capable of keeping up with you at full pelt. And yeah, they run along with you. Make me a acrobatics check, please, Trish.
Oh God!
You
Yes.
very nice. A massive chunk of rock comes screaming in out of the sky. Can I get, who haven't we had? Lizelle 129, can you please make me, roll me a d20 in chat? The scouts running alongside you, however, this huge thing just plummets down out of the sky, but you manage to nimbly dodge out of the way of this huge ball of fire. Oh no. This is the thing they are all running away from, by the way, chat. This is the aspect of fire. It's
Oh
pretty
my
fast,
God.
Mitch. It's having a great old time. Yeah, a 2. So these guys cop, 3 of these scouts cop a nasty ball
Phil.
of fire, and
Phil.
they get killed. They get killed
Phil,
straight up.
Phil,
is still
Phil.
running. Stop it.
Oh, damn it!
Phil is still running alongside Trish, though. Yeah, you weave, you duck and weave. Trish, do you want to do anything?
How close am I to the circle?
It's cool. It's a ways.
Okay, I'm just trying not to die.
Okay. Do you have any?
All my
means
focus
with
is on
which to
just-
try not to die.
Fuck it. I cast Bless on me and Garp.
You do that. Nice. All right. Make another acrobatics check, please. You can add your bless now.
Alrighty. Bless. Acrobatics. Jesus. Oh God.
Or it'll be better.
Yeah, roll the d4.
Okay. Oh God.
Phoenix Iwaki, can you roll me a 1d20 in chat, please?
I feel.
There he is. There he is. Yeah. Oh dear. This will be interesting. Phoenix may be just about to begin a game. Oh no, here we go. Come on.
Go on.
Roll
Come on.
20.
Oh, it's rolled. Yeah. That one.
Gonna try once the
I've gotta wait.
cooldown's gone.
Yeah. One more time, Phoenix.
One more time, you can do it. Come on, Phoenix. Rise like the Phoenix.
Because otherwise I'm taking serums 5 and that's not good.
That's not good. Oh.
No. Hit it again, Phoenix. Oh, this is stressful. We actually did have a question quickly for Benneck while I'm thinking about it. What's Benneck's orientation?
Sure. He's straight.
3.
Cool.
Oh,
Oh, that's awful. That's much worse. All right.
Worse.
No.
Trish, this and a second huge ball of fire comes arcing down towards you. And can you, yes, you, just as it strikes, you turn to look at it, and just as just before it strikes you, this large strake just elbows you out of the way, and you go flying. And Phil Garp takes it full to the chest.
Phil.
yes. Yes.
And there is a steaming corpse.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God.
Just somewhere Nevermore's cheering. Oh, like, why?
It's
Just got the weirdest
footsteps
boner.
are getting closer.
Okay. I keep running.
Yeah, make me another acrobatics check, Trish.
Okay. And I get my +4. God.
Use that bonus.
Ugh.
Is
Come
the
on.
number you needed.
Oh God.
Another one comes sailing over your shoulder, takes out the last couple of guards, but you are all right. You are running real good. You can, in the I'm just going to swap over to the other guys now, guys. Yes, there is that reroll. Don't forget about that.
Okay.
All around, the Wildwood Brigade has been holding the elementals at bay as you hurry along. The Dean and Susan are in the center of your group, basically just taking cover amongst you. The Dean looks around at you all and says, as you get to the conjuration circle, he says, splendid. This is almost exactly where I thought it was. Brilliant. Good, jolly good. Well, I'll get to it then, shall I, dear, if you wouldn't mind? Yeah, absolutely. Let's do this. She says. She smiles and nods, and then she reaches up and gives Laz a peck on the cheek, and then follows the Dean. So the guards are around you. The guards have left you here. The minor elementals seem to be steering clear of this place, probably due to the presence of the conjuration circle. So you have a bit of a breather if you need to prepare for anything. So yeah, just take a moment to think about that. While Trish, we're back to you. You don't have a breather at all. You are outpacing this thing, but barely managing to keep it at bay. Can you make me another acrobatics check, Trish? Or athletics.
All right.
You can choose athletic if you like, but I wouldn't.
Oh, definitely going acrobatics. Reroll. I'm using my reroll. Okay. Jesus.
Look at the last two. Yeah, there it is. You dodge, you duck, you roll. I'm gonna actually flavor this reroll as well.
Okay.
Trish, you stumble, you stagger and fall, and then you see a flash of steel, and suddenly you find yourself shielded from the blast that you knew was coming. Looking up, you see Riffin behind you, his shield held high. The face of the shield is emitting a barrier of wind which deflects the aspect's flames. The small strig gives you a smile and shouts, "Sorry I didn't help sooner, but I'm not about to let you kids have all the fun. Riffin, the Ash Knight at your service, lassie."
Better late than never, Riffin.
I'm slow, but I'll keep up. Let's go, quick. All right, Trish, one more acrobatics check for me, and then you are there. You can see the clearing in the distance.
Okay. Yes!
Nails it. You have been rolling real good and really shitty on occasion, but mostly that you have gotten so many crits in the other. If you'd been at advantage, you would have gotten it like walk in the park. Trish, you dodge the final fireball as you reach the clearing that you're looking for. The rest of you guys, you hear a crashing coming from the wood to the south. There is a glow building, and then you can make out a fearsome horned visage coming over the woods to the south. The flames rising from its gaping maw, and a singed Trish and a singed Riffin come pelting through the underbrush just ahead of it. Oh, there you are, laddie. I told you, lads. I do what you do. I just take a bit longer. Now let's finish this bugger. For Stilgar.
Yeah, and you see Laz would be really invigorated upon seeing him, and he'll draw his long sword out and kind of look to the whole party and to Riffin and just say, rule number 2, do what needs to be done.
Dead straight, lad. Roll me initiative, please.
Can we place ourselves just like wherever on the map?
Please place yourselves on the map as well, yes. Wherever you like on the map.
3 life. Yeah, 3.
The aspect of fire got a 3 for its initiative. Riffin
Nice.
gets
Everybody that be riffing it up, I say.
Riffin gets a 10. I'm not rolling for Susan and Dean Winsworth because they are not here to fight. But Riffin's here to fight.
I keep
Riffin
forgetting
here is
how
definitely here
big
to fight.
Lazarus gets.
Oh yeah. That's weird. That is very weird.
Enlarge self.
Yes. Unadvisable.
I do have that spell.
Where are we?
You're gonna drag yourself on.
Oh,
You should be
we're
down the
at
bottom
the-
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I put myself next to Benneck, but he's
I'm on a tree. I'm in a tree.
Oh, you're in a tree.
Yeah.
I'm in a tree.
All right.
Yeah, he's comfortable at
Don't
tree.
you ever forget it. Alrighty. Alright, so where are we? Let's have a look at this. Descending. Trish will be first. Appropriate. Trish, you have been running for about 20 minutes, just FYI.
Okay.
You are probably a little winded, but your speedy boots have probably been what's keeping you alive here. Riffin is also looking pretty out of breath, but he is up for this. Trish, the aspect of fire strides into the clearing, and I just need a bit of a quick music change. This is a little too runny for my taste.
DM,
Yes.
when the council dropped off potions, did we get any fire resistance ones by any chance?
No, I'm afraid it was just greater healings.
No worries. Jude will die today.
Oh, I would be very surprised if you didn't die at some point.
Yeah.
So, Trish, what do you do?
All right, I'm gonna get myself a little closer to the circle even, because I am trying to get this thing there still.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my bonus action for good aim and use my crossbow
Very well.
to shoot this guy. Short bow.
A 16 hits
Excellent. Damage time.
for 9 magical piercing damage. Gosh. D6 plus 4. Yeah, right. All right. Noted. Very well. It takes 9 magical piercing damage.
All right.
Good start. Good start, Trish. Benneck, it is your turn. There is a lot of trees in the way between it and you, but you could probably make out most of it. I would say it has partial cover from where you currently are.
That's okay. I just say, all right,
Or if anybody wanted to do anything, any of the four of you guys, not Trish, wanted to do anything before they arrived here, like prepare an action or something, that's totally allowed.
That's okay. Now I'll prepare it now. Now that I see it, so I don't waste this spell. Just say, all right, everyone, watch over me. And I will prepare a ray of enfeeblement to when he's no longer in partial cover.
Noted. All right. So it's considered a readied action now. Nevermore, what do you do?
Let's see. Wait, what's the range of this? 60 feet. I may need to move closer, but it's fine.
No, it's plenty. You plenty.
All right. I would have been waiting for its big ass head to appear, because I would be lining up with an altered fireball. Party time, Mirilath. Hand to my eye as per usual, and just pull away and toss out a little blue bolt.
Yep.
Which will explode. You will need to give
Firebolt
me...
or fireball?
It's fireball, and it's
save.
going to be a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Dex save. It is
7.
It does not make it. So it takes
So
29
that's
cold
29 cold damage.
damage. Very nice. Math. There you are.
5,200 damage. Yeah.
Noted.
And I am going to now, hopefully having caught its attention, going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 on the other side of that.
Very well. Jude, it is your turn.
Muted.
Jude
Yep.
is going to. Jude is not going to do anything running towards it because we need to draw it into the circle. So Jude is going to taunt it with song and throw a javelin at it.
Very well. Throw the javelin and tell me the song you sing.
Okay, well, let me throw the javelin first. If I can find the freaking javelin. Where's my javelin? There we go.
Jude, I'm afraid the javelin pings off the rocky substance that it makes up its chest, just sort of deflects downwards and onto the ground. It doesn't appear to hurt it at all. It chuckles menacingly at you.
I was singing at the same time.
Probably what threw off your aim a bit.
Jude has boogles. Yep.
Okay.
You heard
it
it.
appears it definitely hears you sing that.
Perfect. I will run around where Nevermore is as well.
Very well. Riffin the Ash Knight looks a little confused about that interaction. Appears uncertain exactly what that meant. He is actually going to take up a defensive position in front of the conjuration circle. Actually, he's going to be a little bit closer to Lazarus. He's going to go there. He places his shield up in front of himself, and he brings his sword up above his head, and he said, "Come on then, you big flyery bastard. Come and face me blade." That's all he does, unfortunately. He doesn't have any ranged options. Lazarus, your turn.
Okay, so Lazarus is going to shore up next to Riffin, and he's going to actually look back to Jude, and he'll take out some components, some iron shavings, and he'll kind of blow them out of his hand, and they'll go over and collect onto Jude and enlarge her. So now we have giant Jude. As I cast enlarge on Jude.
Oh God.
So
Jude, you now have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and your attacks deal an extra D4 damage.
Does it make them size large, or does it increase them by one size class?
It's by one category. She's a medium.
She's now medium. So I actually have made her too big.
Am I the size of Nevermore now?
You're probably a little taller than. You're about the same height as the guy Trish made juice with earlier.
So 7 foot.
About that, 7 or 8 feet. Yeah.
I'm
You're not
taller.
technically large. You're a big medium.
I'm taller than Nevermore.
Yeah. And this deep chuckle comes out of Jude's mouth.
What a fucking nightmare. Move your head.
Oh, nice
The
move.
ears
lad.
are huge.
Yes, you can pick up satellite radio with them.
I'm like an elephant.
All right. So the aspect of fire has been successfly taunted and is going to move. That's 20, 40 feet this way. Because it's 20 feet wide. And it's going to use its ability molten magma throw.
Like get that picture. No.
Oh, you do. You would. Yeah. What
Oh,
does,
it's
what
dex
does,
save. It won't matter, but I'll shoot it anyway.
Yeah. So you fire. Make a ranged spell attack.
Yeah, I am patient, so I have advantage on this.
You do. Love it. Thank you for putting that up.
Oh, good. I will use my reroll. Goddamn. I'm
Solid. Solid plan. Because yeah, I'll tell you for free those won't hit.
16.
That's so close.
Oh man, damn it.
Does it? No, it hits. Just.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. The target only deals half damage with weapon attacks and strength until the spell ends. So at the end of each of the target's turns, makes a con save against the spell. On a success, it ends.
Yeah.
Right.
So if
at the end of this
fists,
turn,
it's
yeah.
If it uses fists, it's half damage.
Very well. It is, however, going to make its magma throw attack. It throws a huge chunk of rock at basically the center of the circle, and everybody within 15 feet of it, which is, I think, with the exception of Nevermore, everybody. You've all nicely clustered yourselves. Thanks for that. A dex save, please. Oh dear.
I don't know if I have like reactions or anything, but can I dive in front of it as giant Jude?
Dive in front of what?
The rock. Jude's not smart.
All it would do, basically, when it lands, it explodes. So all it would do is
I just want to
explode
make sure
on you.
that Susan and the Dana...
You can try and shield Susan with your body. I'll allow that. It would mean
Yes,
you get
please.
disadvantage on this roll.
Because I'm intentionally
so
trying to be hit.
Yeah. Sean, I'm afraid you fail. Trish passes. Though it's worth noting you don't have Bless on you anymore. It wore off a while back.
Oh, dang. Dang. Okay, that's fair.
Jude, you definitely cop the full hit, but I would say that Susan doesn't take the hit because of that. You take 4d10 fire damage. 16. So everybody who failed the save gets 16, and those who fail get. Everybody who failed gets 16. Everybody else, basically Trish, you only take 8, and I will roll for Riffin as well, because Riffin didn't dex save.
Got that resistance from the Borealis.
Riffin also takes the full.
You technically
16,
take 4
unfortunately.
damage, by the way, using Uncanny Dodge, Trish.
Oh,
You
4.
take half of the
Yeah,
half.
half of the half. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
That's right. Hurting Trish is hard. But Riffin takes the full, unfortunately, so he's down to 44 hit points. And I think that's end of round 1. The aspect of fire will now make a Constitution save.
Please
It
roll
doesn't get advantage on it,
shit.
but it does have a +4. It got a double
Jeepers
crit
creepers.
success. It
Whatever.
is no longer enfeebled.
Yeah, Yeah, it
Hey,
didn't
look,
matter
that
what
is the
happened there.
best place for that to have happened. Let's be honest. You didn't want that on one of its attacks. So
I
I
should have paid
think we
attention
will
in
take
necromancy
a.
101.
I think we will take a break there. That's probably not a bad place to have a little breaklet. We should be back in 5 to 10, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Hope you're enjoying it. This is a pretty penultimate, this is a pretty much a finale fight. So I hope you're having fun. We are. And we'll be back very much soon. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Welcome back to Roll for Damage and the Humblewood, everybody. Yes, thank you for sticking around during our break. We just had to refresh ourselves. We are now refreshed and ready to kill a giant thing with fire everywhere and molten lava for a body mostly. I don't know, I never really bothered to describe it. It's a really big piece of lava wandering around with like a horned expression. I never bothered because there's a picture of it on the screen, so you can see that. There you are. You're all welcome. I should also mention our amazing sponsors, Hero Forge. Hero Forge are our sponsors. Our amazing sponsors, Wooten Forge. There it is. They do beautiful things.
Other
and I've got
forge.
it in front of me, and it's so pretty. The other forge, the people who do forge stuff, they forge with wood, and they
Pretty
are
badass
called
stuff.
Wooden Forge, and they create amazing wooden tabletop gaming products using exotic and Australian hardwoods. And if you want to get something from their store, which you definitely should, because they do like personalized engraving and stuff like that. You can see Josh the Pirate written there. You can use the code HUMBLE1 at checkout to get a discount from anything on their store. And I've seen their workshop now, and it's super cool. I'm like, oh my god, I want to play in here forever. It's so much fun.
And
They do them.
merch.
Yeah, and they've got merch and stuff. It's excellent. So yeah, please go and check them out because they are amazing people and they sponsor the Humblewood and they support us. And it's really cool that they would voluntarily choose to support us. For no particular benefit to them. So go and benefit them, would you? Excellent. Splendid. Right. Let's get back into it. We are back to the top of the order. Trish, your turn.
Alrighty. Slightly recovered from my run, I'm gonna dart forward, sword raised high, and smack this thing.
Trish, yep, cool. You hit it. You hit it. It is not flanked, so no sneak attack, I'm afraid. But
What
yes,
sound did it make? Sorry.
for
Perfect.
10 piercing damage.
That's
And this
right.
is this sword is now +1 as well. So it actually does 11
Ooh,
piercing damage.
nice.
Because you had it blessed, right?
That is what I had blessed. I had the sword blessed. And then I'm going
Yeah.
to use my fancy dagger for an offhand hit on this. Trish is on her game today.
You could say Trish is on fire.
We don't want
Because-
that.
Well, unfortunately it's happened. Trish, you are standing next to a giant towering inferno. Can you make me a Constitution save, please? This is for half damage.
It's fine. It's fine. Constitution.
Oh dear. No. Let me just check what the damage is. It is makes a melee attack within 5 feet of it, or ends the. I'll just pop it up here so you can all see. Molten skin makes a melee attack within 5 feet of,
Oh
or
my
ends their
God.
turn within 5 feet of the aspect. Takes 2d10 fire damage.
Oh my
I was-
god.
I was going to let you do a con save for half, but no. So yeah, let's just roll 2d10 fire damage straight up. Let's just do that quickly.
It's fine.
Pain in the ass. I've got the turn order in the way.
I'm a beefcake. It's okay.
You take 10 fire damage.
Fine.
Um,
okay. Not okay.
Yeah.
as I back off again, I say, guys, it's really hot.
Riffin,
Like I
goes,
know it should be obvious, but it's really hot.
Riffin looks over his shoulders and looks at Nevermore and says, "Lad, your friend's a bit stupid."
That's not even the stupid one.
What the hell, Riffin?
He smiles at you like, we've just run like for 20 minutes with this thing throwing fireballs at us and you're surprised that it's hot? Like, I'm going to have to do the same thing, but it's not going to be fun. Quick, someone else stab it. Benneck!
I come down from my perch on high.
Do you glide?
And
Like,
yeah, I glide. Ooh,
Sure.
glide. And as I glide down, I cast haste on myself.
Good plan. Solid plan.
Somebody's probably gotta stay in the thick of it. Here, Trish, the sneak attack. So I will, for my hasted action, I will throw a dagger at the boy.
Yeah.
The fuck of fire.
Yeah.
And the
The
intent
boys.
is maybe I can start to make like footholds up it.
So you're using it like a piton? A piton?
Yeah,
Piton?
pitting. With the blessed daggers.
Oh,
Hitting the fool.
23. Yeah, you pitten the fool. It takes 9 piercing damage, and these are blessed as well, so yeah,
Yep.
does the full.
I have 4 of these. 4 blessed daggers.
You
4
got 3 now.
pittons. Yeah, 3. 3
you
left.
critting with your pitten?
I will. I wish I
shame.
written with my pitten.
Yeah, it would be a good. That would be a good pun. Well, just to play on the words. All right. Anything else from Benneck?
I'm really fast, so I'll just continue to move this way, but not to stack up with everyone else.
Good plan.
That's it.
Solid plan. Alrighty, Nevermore, it's your turn.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hand to my eye, and bam,
Fireball.
off goes another fireball.
Off goes another
Again,
fireball.
modified. So I'll
No,
go a
this is
dex
your
saving
other one?
throw. This is my other one, so that's both of my 3rd levels.
What did I need?
So-
13?
13, yep. And
Got
it
it.
is. Give me a second. Did that work? Or have I already ticked the spell slot off? There we go.
Boom.
27.
27, so I take half this time for 13. Still pretty good.
13 cold boys.
13 cold damage. You do that.
And I'll just move a little bit further.
Jude, it is your turn. It's coming for you.
Jude does the same thing. Throws a javelin, continues to taunt, but as a bigger Jude now.
Sure. So yeah,
Okay,
you are
different
now
voice.
rolling a little bit harder.
If it hits.
Yeah,
Ooh.
crit.
Ooh.
Just crit of the fight. All right.
Ooh.
What do we add to the damage?
1d4.
1d4.
Extra D4. That doubles as well then, Jude.
Oh, no, it's not dueling. Don't worry about the
It's
dueling.
not dueling, but you get the 10. Plus
Plus 2d4.
plus 2D4.
2d4. 6.
Oh,
16.
16. This is good, Jude. Well done. In half to something else.
La, 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 la,
But it's now to...
Do you have 2 attacks?
That was your
don't you?
first attack, right?
That was your first attack.
Can I hit twice?
You have. Because you're level 5.
What?
You have extra attack, dude.
What?
You're level 5. Yeah.
I'll throw another javelin. I've got 4 of them.
You've got 2 now, but yes, throw another one.
17.
17 also hits.
Yeah. 8 plus 10.
2, 10,
Or 1, rather, because it's not a crit. 9.
Oh, yeah.
9.
9.
Yep. These two actually sort of, now that they've got a little bit more oomph behind them, they both sort of arc up into the sky and sort of and just sticking out of its shoulder, where they slowly begin to melt from the heat, but they're definitely in there. Next is Riffin. And Riffin's like, oh, lads, I'm getting too old for this. And he rushes in, and he is going to make a pair of sword attacks. What's he get? A 15 and a 9. Neither hit. That's shit. And in exchange, Riffin takes 2d10 fire damage. Oh dear. Riffin takes 15 fire damage. Crikey. 3... That's not good. And he sits there and just takes it. Just, blasted thing! Someone nerf this! And it's now Lazarus's turn. It's flank now for anybody who wants it.
We still need to draw it towards the circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's not in its way.
Ah. Okay.
Good call. All right, so Lazarus is going to fire off. Yeah, Lazarus holds out the Borealis, and I'm going to shoot off just a quick ray of frost at it.
Nice. Do that.
I'm just going to roll a d20 because I don't have that in my spell list.
Yep, that's all right.
And add the...
Oof.
It's...
You have a reroll.
I know, but it feels like I should save that for something else.
Fair enough.
It's an 11. So that does not hit.
No, unfortunately not. It ducks
Yes.
under this. It sees it coming, and then it looks at you, and its eyes narrow. It sees this thing in your hand, and you're like, I don't know if it's you don't necessarily go, oh no, but it definitely its eyes are on you now, Lazarus.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I wanted, so I'm gonna start backing up towards the circle.
You do that. How far back away from do you go? Cool. You do that. Its eyes are on you, Laz, and it's gonna come up here, not disengaging from Riffin because it's real big. And it's going to go over there to you, and it's going to attack you twice with its molten fists. A 16 on the first.
Misses.
That's rubbish. And a 16 on the second. What the? Pair of 9s. That's dog shit. Oh well.
It's because of the cold, the chilly weather around me with this
must be.
Borealis.
Yeah. All right, that's its turn. I'm also going to roll to see whether or not its thing recharges. It does not. However, you're now next to it. Mm-hmm. So we go back to the top of the order. Trish, it is 5 feet away from you. It's very warm. You're not close enough to receive actual physical damage from it, but it's right there. It is flanked, definitely flanked though.
Yeah, look, I've accepted my fate as getting really crispy today. I get slightly closer and I smack it with my sword.
Do that. 19 hits.
Hell yeah, it does. Get me that sneak damage.
Yeah, it does. 9 for the snake, 7 for the piercing, takes it to 16. And that's the sword.
And the fancy dagger can't be forgotten. Wha-cha! Oh, I don't know why it did damage automatically there, but that doesn't hit.
It does not.
Wha-cha!
No. So, wha-cha! Your fancy dagger failed you.
Foucar.
Foucar.
It gave me all that luck for running, I guess, and I'm gonna back away, but I'm assuming I'm scorched.
You definitely cop a couple of D20s, a couple of D10s worth of fire damage.
It's fine.
Let's just
It's
do
fine.
that quickly. 12
I'm
fire
okay.
damage there, Trish.
I'm all right. It's fine.
Just leave that over there, I think. Cool. Benneck.
Now the other side. Throw. Dagger.
That's the same side, but sure.
No, but Trish will attack from this side.
Oh, okay, right. I thought you were talking about
No,
daggers on both sides from you. No, okay. You carry on.
Because I'm trying to make a.
A stairway to heaven. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you climb it, you'll die from the heat.
It's fine. Somebody's
You
gotta
miss.
climb. And on the first one, not on the
First one
second.
misses. Oh yeah, because you're hasted. 25, blessed boy. That's full 7 damage. Very nice.
All right, I do watch where the other dagger went, and I
Yeah,
will try and make my way towards it.
It lands kind of between Susan and Miss Dean Winsworth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Blade down.
I'll make
in the
a
ground
mental
as well.
note of it.
Cool. Nevermore.
This way.
You're muted.
I'm going to hold up my ring of spell storing that Dean
sure.
provided me. Thanks, Dean! And I'm going to release Stellar Bodies from it.
Oof, do that.
Which is the spell that was stored in there, I believe. I've brought it up on my own monitor. I can't bring it up as a spell, but
That's all right. All good.
basically it's just going to be 2 small stars that orbit me, which for this turn, they orbit me, and then next turn, I can start using them as actions. So,
Awesome.
cool.
This is the fight to do that. Yes.
Go released.
Jude.
That's
Jude.
me.
Thank you.
Jude is going to run forward and
Yes.
stab
Ooh. Good. Do that.
as Giant Jude.
Giant Jude runs forward and stabs.
Yes. With my
Let's go ahead
magical sword.
Just go ahead and roll that. You take 12 fire damage from being next to it. 23 does hit, however. For another 11 slashing damage, magical slashing damage, because it's a magic sword.
13. And I hit
Oh, yes,
again.
I apologize. Yes. And you strike it again.
26.
Also a hit.
For
8.
another.
Ooh, another 12.
Oh,
She's holding him back.
no, I'm going to hold my spells until later.
Yeah. So
Yeah, when it's in the circle.
Yeah.
good idea. Okay. Yeah. Riffin is commences his turn in the range of it. So he's going to take another 2d10 fire damage. There's only 10 this time. That's for the best. And then he is going to try to attack it a couple of times, which is probably good. Short sword. 10. No, Riffin, what the hell? Wow. Pair of misses. I am rolling awfully today. I haven't hit anybody yet with anything that I actually had to roll for myself. So you're lucky. Good job. Riffin is actually going to... He didn't hit, though, so he doesn't take any more fire damage. And he's like, I can stay here for another turn. He's just like tanking this.
Oh my god, Griffin, you're on fire.
He very much is on fire, yes. Lazarus, it's your turn.
Lad's is going to shout back to Susie just to be like, how much longer till it's ready?
It could be ready now. What are you waiting for?
Then nice. Then I am going to back up into the circle.
You occur an opportunity attack, I'm afraid.
Was counting on it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
sure.
Ooh.
All right. Bold move. It's going to use its stomp attack. 24 to hit.
Oh my god.
24 hits.
You take 22 fire damage. Please make me a con save.
Con save. Where are you?
It's 3d10s for the stomp.
I see that.
You succeed. You
18.
don't get knocked prone.
Excellent. All right. I was gonna do something, but there's too many of my friends nearby, so I'm just gonna shoot him with the Ray of Frost again.
Yeah.
It's a
5. Not
It's a 13.
going to hit, I'm afraid.
All right, then that's my turn.
Very well. And as it's one of its legendary actions, it's going to use its Molten Fist attack on Jude, because Jude is within melee range of it. Don't forget, Jude, you took 12 fire damage at the beginning of your turn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and actually, sorry, you would have taken damage from hitting it as well.
Wait, why did I take 12 damage at the start of my turn?
Not at the you moved into proximity with it, so you took fire damage from attacking it. But yeah, you took 12 fire damage when you attacked it.
Okay.
And it just got a 20 to hit you with its Molten Fist.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
Which does 17 fire damage.
I am passed out.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because you got hit with the fireball earlier.
Yeah.
Jude
is down.
And now it's its turn. I'm going to say that in between Lazarus's turn and its turn, the Dean and Susan back off a little bit, given that Lazarus has indicated his intention to get it into the circle. And it continues to follow Lazarus, and Riffin is going to make a reaction attack because it's moved out of combat with him, which is possibly stupid. 13 misses. And Laz, it's going to try... It's firstly going to use its... it's going to try to do that D6 to get its thing back. It did get its thing back. That's cool. Maybe I'll do that instead. Nah, there's no need. It's going to stomp on you twice. It's going to try and Molten Smash you twice. Molten Fist. A 10. That's a crit fail. And the 17 actually matches your armor class, at least.
Shield. I'll use shield.
Yeah. Good idea. Solid plan. Like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's its turn, and it roars in frustration as the first one you dodge aside, and then the second one is just like, "Rah!" and smashes it down on you, and you just like, nope. And this glassy shield appears in front of you, and it just bounces off it, and it goes, "Rah!" and just roars to the sky. Yeah. That's its turn. We go back to the top of the order. Trish.
All right, I run my little butt over here to Jude and give her my potion of greater healing.
44 plus 4.
Mm-hmm. And I say, "You're doing great, Jude. You're doing great."
Okay.
Okay.
What is this? I assume deep Jude sounds like.
Does the spell wear off once she goes unconscious, or does it
No,
maintain?
because it's Lazarus casting
My
it.
concentration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Lazarus hasn't been hurt yet.
I did get hurt, but I did roll my concentration.
Okay.
I made it.
I assumed you did. You're a good boy.
How much healing did I get? 9. Okay.
9.
Plus
Plus
4.
4. So 13.
15.
15. Okay.
Enough that one solid hit will kill you again. What did I say? Trish, so that's your action. Well done.
That's
Good.
me
Thank
done.
you. Benneck, your turn.
Throw this last dagger.
Yeah, the side that you were building a stairway to heaven on is now sort of not presented anymore. You'd have to sort of scooch around over down here, sort of say, to if you care about that, just
Yes.
thematically. You're very fast as well.
I parkour over the ladies as they get healed.
You do a bit of a
Jump over
glide.
to the back.
Yeah. Yep, you do that.
Roll this Lazarus for the hasted action. Because I need to cast the spell for the 28 to hit.
28 does hit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
for 10.
For 10 piercing. And these are blessed as well. Yep.
Yep. So blessed.
So hashtag blessed. All right.
Right. Here we go. Time to do something stupid.
Oh, what are you going to do?
We're gonna start climbing up this thing with
That's
only
very
3
stupid.
daggers. I take the
Serum's
6.
loving this. I bet you.
I take Susan's variable dagger,
Yeah.
and I just for my action try to, and the rest of my movement try and start to make my way up and shank it with the
So you want
radiant
to
side.
climb climb it and then activate the dagger and radiant it. Can you make
Yeah.
me an acrobatics
Actually,
check,
no.
please?
I'll do it in necrotic side. That makes more sense, I think.
Yeah.
In his brain, anyway.
You take 10 points of
Acrobatics.
fire damage from your proximity to it. You definitely. I would say you make it about halfway up. It's really hard to move to climb a thing using daggers as pittons when it's like the daggers are molten hot. The bottom couple have been sticking in it for like 20 seconds at this point as well. Yeah. This is. I would say you don't get to the point where you could stab it. Well, you can stab
That's
it where you
fair.
are, but you can't hit it in its head.
You could climb the javelins when you get.
Javelin
They're
sticking
on
out
the
of the
other
other
side.
shoulder,
Yeah, they're on the other side.
and also equally hot.
I'll think about
They're
it.
there.
And I think that I have to do that at some point because the last dagger is in the fucking circle.
Yeah.
I just shank it from where I am.
Okay, shank it from where you are. Susan's variable
For-
dagger, a 20 for 9 necrotic.
Necrotic.
Damage. Yeah. Very well. Very nice.
And I'm pretty
Cool.
sure that was literally
All
I
your
have
movement?
like 10 left. So
Nice.
right. Yeah, I
Alrighty.
have 10 left. So go back here. I start to back up for the run up.
Now then, this is an interesting point. It's been cooling, fuel for fire. Space the plant life that it provides cover. Okay, yeah, cool. It is going to, as its legendary action, in fact, 2 of its legendary actions, it's going to use Magma Throw again. Lazarus, Trish, and Jude, can I get you to make dexterity saves, please?
Oh, goody.
Jude
The
hasn't had
point is-
time for lay on hands, Josh.
No, Jude has not. Keep him down. Trish succeeds.
Yeah.
I'm fast as
Oh
fuck.
no.
Jude and Lazarus do not. So that's 4d10 fire damage by the looks of it, boys and girls. Here we go.
That's too many
10.
D10s. That's more D10s
That's-
than I would prefer.
That's 24. So Trish, you take 12 and you can half that to 6.
Sure
Laz
will.
And Jude, however, take the full 24.
Jude has passed out.
Oh.
Trish just stands there like a bit.
What was that, Lazarus? You're not making sound.
Muted. Sorry. I said this Borealis is really keeping me alive with this resistance to fire damage. Because I would be dead too if it wasn't for that.
You're standing next to a massive angry fire thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Benneck, that was good. Nevermore, it's your turn.
Back it up, father. Back it up. And I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to point and release, or kind of like almost as the star comes around me, I'll like put my hand on it and throw it at the creature, and I'll make a spell ranged attack, which is a horrible roll.
Not
And
great.
it just whistles past and misses. Don't you dare quote Rule 3 at me! And then that's my turn.
I might have quoted Rule 89. 88 rather. 88.
I was about to correct you. Lazarus shouts up to the heavens, Rule 88! God!
Actually.
Sorry.
I'm actually God, yeah.
Jude Littlefoot, it is your turn. Please make me a death save. Very powerful but very squishy paladin. That's a fail. That is a fail.
Okay,
You do have an extra d6 booster. Be a fairly. It's a 1 in. You only need 3 on a d6.
But if I fail that, that's a waste of a d6 and I could use that later.
I don't think. Well,
So-
you got to wake up first.
You have a. You also
I'm
have
counting
a
on my friends to
reroll.
wake me up. Can I do?
And
I'm gonna use my reroll.
Okay.
No, actually, no. I'm gonna keep it. It's one death save.
Yeah,
I
and
can
so when you
reroll
roll
it.
a 1 on the
Yeah.
next. Oh yeah, okay. If you roll
Yeah.
a 1 on the next one, you can re-roll it.
Yeah.
Fair call.
Yeah.
'Cause if you
Yeah.
roll a
Alright.
1, you're dead.
You die.
It's
yeah.
fine.
Okay. Noted.
And Nelderberry, yes, you
Unless
do
something
drink
was
on
to
death.
attack you.
Death rolls, death save. We're making a drinking game out of this.
Oh, Jude would be
They're
so
gonna
drunk.
be so drunk.
Yes.
Everyone in chat's gonna be drunk if they drink every time Jude goes down.
Oh,
Riffin, it's Riffin's turn now. Looks and goes, someone should probably prop up the little one. Well, the big one, I suppose. And he actually rushes over and puts himself between Jude and it. And just sort of uses his shield. He's not near enough to attack it because he's looking pretty banged up his own self. He just interposes himself so that he can cop any damage it tries to direct its Jude's way. It's going to use its final legendary action, Lazarus, to try and Molten Fist you. For 16, doesn't hit. Yeah, you and your crazy high AC. Right. We are at Lazarus's turn. You're muted again, sir.
I keep doing that today. As I slowly back away, trying to get it perfectly in the circle. I'm going to back away a few feet in a moment. But I am going to hold the Borealis.
Oh, please, I will just take you. I'll just do you 2 d10s worth of fire damage.
Yeah, you do it now. Just do it now.
8. There you go.
Okay. I'm going to use the Breath of Winter on it because I think everyone's out
Nice.
of the way. So I'll point the
Nice.
Borealis out, and I imagine that like wintry mix that's always around it kind of all gathers together at the point. and-
Yes. Swirls down into it and whoosh. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
He needs to make the fire aspect of fire needs to make a con saving throw, DC 18.
On save. 18. Oof, I'm not sure. I'll be
Roll
able to
low,
do-
roll low, roll low, roll
12.
low. Yes.
I did
That
roll
is
low.
good.
I rolled very low.
Excellent.
There's an
That is
8 on the dice.
That is 9d8.
Yeah.
There you
98
go. Whip
damage,
it out.
everybody.
98, you
nice.
say. That's a lot.
Yeah.
9 d8's probably still
No.
quite a lot. Yeah, wow. Cold
44.
damage.
So, yeah, 44 cold damage from that.
Nice.
And,
It takes that, and it really seems to sort of gutter out. The fires of its form really are starting to wither and dwindle away a little bit at this point.
Yeah, and Laz will back up just to 5 feet so that it can, it will step into the full circle.
I want to be clear, it's going to reaction that.
Before I do that, I will bonus action second wind.
Good idea. It gets a crit
Oh my god.
for 24 fire damage.
The good thing is that, well, once I roll it.
Yeah, I got a 9 and a 4 on the first one, and a further 5 on the other 2. It was really quite low, actually, for a crit.
Okay. 1, 10. 1 second. Let's see, 7 plus 2. Okay. And how much damage was it again?
24.
It's a good thing that I had 28 health.
It is fire damage as well, so you do take half.
Yeah, so you take
yeah.
half.
All right,
Yeah.
so I can survive 1 more hit, basically.
And it's its
his
turn now,
I know.
and it steps in towards you. You've got it where you want it, but you have to be awake. So I'm going to roll that d6 to see if it recharges its flaming bolt. I think it does. Oh no. You know what it's going to do.
Yeah.
You're all clustered around Jude. It's going to throw it at the ground right in front of it. Riffin, Nevermore, Riffin, Lazarus, Trish, and Jude doesn't make it. Jude just fails automatically, unfortunately. Can you all make me a dex save?
Oh, dude.
I'm gonna use my reroll.
Good idea. 16. That's better. It's amusingly. What is it? I think it needs an 18 or a 17. It's something very close to what you rolled. It's 17 dex save, unfortunately, so you do still fail. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, 4d10 fire damage. Let's see what this looks like. 20.
Pretty low.
Could have been worse. That's fairly low.
Yeah, I'm still alive. Barely.
Fail another death save.
Riffin's not. Jude automatically
you
fails
automatically
that save,
fail one.
and
Yeah.
Riffin is knocked unconscious as well.
Oh
Trish,
my god.
how are you?
I got 4 health left.
I want to be
Same.
clear. You were on 14, so you can use your uncanny dodge for this. This is what.
I did, so I only took 10, right?
No. Oh, right.
Yeah,
you
correct.
failed the save.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
10.
on.
Yeah.
So I'm up 4.
Okay. Good. Good.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Right. That's its turn. Trish, it's your turn.
Okay.
It's in the circle. It's looking very, very like it's almost out of flame.
Oh god. Okay. Is Lazarus still conscious?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay,
Laz is
and he's
standing
got
there.
the-
He's looking.
Yeah, and I
badly
imagine
singed.
Laz is like looking you right in the eyes, like you know what to do now. Like we know what's going to happen next.
Okay. Okay. I run up to Lazarus and I take the Borealis.
He does not like. He will not.
That's not what you wanted?
No. He's just telling you. He's telling you to attack this thing.
Oh, that's what the signal
Yeah.
was. Okay,
Yeah.
listen.
Mm.
We got to work on our eye conversations.
Yeah.
That's fine.
This is the
okay.
we're having this whole argument in front of the aspect fire. No,
What are you
attack
doing?
it.
No, I get
Attack
it.
it.
Okay, it's fine. I understand. I run up to this thing and I hit it with my sword.
Trish, that'll knock you unconscious, almost guaranteed.
2d10, girl.
2d10.
I
then you're
know,
next
but he
to
was
it,
giving me the
and then-
eyes.
And then you're
That's right.
next
That's
to
right.
it.
I forgot about that.
I don't know what the eyes mean. Okay, I'm gonna do what I was originally gonna do before I got confused. I'm upending
Much better
Jude's
plan.
bag.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tip it upside down and I'm
Much
looking
better.
for her potion.
You found
Like
it.
50 muffins come out from both
Yeah,
sides.
there's a lot of muffins and a single potion. In fact,
Okay,
I think there's probably more than one in there.
I give Jude the potion.
Yeah, you give Jude the potion. Jude receives a potion of greater healing again.
4d4 plus 4.
9. Okay,
9 plus 4. So
Ugh.
13 again.
13 again. Yeah, that's good.
Trish is very flustered and confused.
Trish is also has movement.
All right, I'm gonna get away from this cluster of people is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah. Cool.
That's me, that's
Benneck.
done.
Right, Operation Stupid Shit Part 2.
I want this to work so much.
I
Come
give
on,
up
Benneck.
on the dagger pins, and I just gotta try and run up it with the haste.
Fine. Let's roll 2d10 again. That's 12 points of fire damage. And you go up it. And yeah, you can you make me
Please
the
don't.
acrobatics check?
Thank God. Yep. Damn it!
Why did you make a con save?
For my haste, every time I take damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the acrobatics, like, given that you've got your full movement to throw at this, I'll say that you get up it this time.
Okay, because I really want an opening for the Borealis shanking. So I will
You
try
are
and shank on the back.
Atop it. And
Yeah.
you are
So-
standing on like one of its shoulders,
That's
and
3.
you make that attack.
Great. Come on, Stu. Oh shit. That's okay.
That first one is a no.
Yeah, the second one. Because I'm hasted.
Yeah. 26 for 7 necrotic damage. Oh. Hey, do you know how many hit points it had left? 6. The flames in it, as you bring this knife down to the back of its neck, the flames seem to gutter out. And it's still extremely hot. You're still going to hurt yourself being near it, but it seems to slow down almost to a glacial pace. I want to be clear, it's not dead, but it is momentarily slowed, and it tries to very slowly reach up behind its head and grab you. Nevermore, make me an Arcana check, please.
Benneck just kind of yells out from up the top, like, "Finish it off!" As like you see barely his abjuration enchantments trying to like keep up with the heat. He's like in a hazmat suit.
Nevermore, you hear in your head, hit it with ice. That'll freeze it, at least for a while.
Is it now?
It's Nevermore's turn.
I'm going to use the only ice spell that I have, and I'm going to do actually I have Frostbite. So I'm going to use that.
Benneck, how many hit points have you got left?
Actually,
Dude,
no, I'll do a modified
abjuration, 27.
firebolt. Modified firebolt.
You have 7 less now.
7 less?
15.
Okay.
15 is... doesn't hit.
Do I get advantage because it's stunned in some way or not?
It is stationary.
Slow?
I'll give you advantage. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine. Oh my goodness.
Doesn't mean shit.
No, I'm afraid not. No, it goes wide. You're panicked, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Jude is conscious, lying next to an unconscious Riffin. There is a whole pile of muffins next to you, Jude. Riffin is unconscious.
It's not my turn, is it?
It is now.
I want to give him my second potion.
Sure. I mean, you've got lay on hands.
Oh, yes. I'll give him...
Or a spell.
Yeah, okay.
You can prop him up pretty good, though, with lay on hands.
Yeah, I'm going to give him 15
Cool.
health from lay on hands.
Very well. Could you describe that for me as well? Like, how do you do it?
Jude's really hesitant to put hands on any other person right now. But Jude will reach out with 2 fingers and sort of pitter-patter his face. Please,
Just sort of
wake up,
butterfly kisses on his face.
wake up, please, please.
And each little touch gives him another HP. No. And he looks up to the face of the largest Jabine in all of Humblewood, gently tapping his face with her fingertips. Lassie! Crikey, it's hot. And looks up and he sees this thing still like right there, right next to him. He's like, someone stab it! And he gets back to his feet. Jude, it is still your turn, but you've done your action. What else do you do? Anything?
Can I? Oh no,
Clear.
I cannot. All of these spells are actions.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Can I bonus action hit it?
No.
Can I do anything? I don't think I
Probably
can.
not. You might want to just get away from it, is all I'm saying.
I'm going to gather my muffins back into the bag.
Sure, you bonus action muffin gather.
Yeah.
They're all a bit
And back
sooty.
up slightly.
And you back off slightly. Alrighty, it's Riffin's turn. Riffin gets to his talons. He is going to take a little bit of fire damage because it's still very, very hot, but it's not as hot. And so he is going to take 7 He's down to 8, but he is also going to back up. Still, like, he's going to stand next to Jude with his shield up. He's like, Laz, no! If you're going to do it. And it's Lazarus's turn.
Laz will look up at the slowed creature, shouting up to Benneck. Glide, boy, glide. Jump. And I'm going to take the Borealis, and I want to drive it up into the thing's chest, but I also want to simultaneously use the glacial prison feature and surround myself and the aspect with the wall of ice that'll go shooting up. Open at the top so that Benneck can still jump away.
Yeah.
Benneck, I'm going to let you use your reaction to do what he tells you to, if you would.
Yes. I think I see where this is coming up. And I do just like lock eye contact or make eye contact with Lazarus and then just give him like the warrior's nod, so to speak, and then jump.
Yeah. Time seems to come to a standstill as the spear of ice pierces the hide of the aspect in a blinding flash of light beams out from it. Nevermore, Jude, and Trish, can you make wisdom saves, please? The ice wall that you summon around yourself, Lazarus, instantly shatters with the force of this explosion. With 17, not bad.
Was that everyone?
Interesting.
Sorry?
That's perfect. No, I wasn't. Benneck wouldn't see this, I'm afraid. But Jude, 17 gets it. The wall of ice erupts from you, and just for maybe a couple of seconds, everybody, you see this huge glacier forms, 20, 30 feet high, fully surrounding Lazarus and this thing. However, as the spear goes up inside of it, this thing shatters, as does the aspect of fire. So there is this pulse of white gemstone, of white ice, basically, gems of ice go flying out in every direction. And then a second pulse of red, fiery gemstones, similar, like it's shards, come pounding out from it as well. And just in the middle, you see, Nevermore, you can make out the outline of your father thrusting this spear up into the center of it. Its time has come almost to a standstill. You have no time to react. There's nothing you can do. But, Jude, as the moment extends, you can make out the outline of a familiar figure where the aspect was. It's a hedge. His features at first seem to be in the worst pain imaginable. But as the moment extends, this clears from his face. He seems to sigh and shrinks down. This was a 30-foot tall creature. This body is slowly returning down to normal size, to the size you remember. Standing within the center of the conjuration circle, he waves at you. And as he does so, a couple of fireflies flutter through his skin. Then, it is as if time speeds back up, and the hedge puts a hand to his stomach. And with a shocked look on his face, he starts to try to run towards you. The light around you coalesces into shards of white and red, which before was streaming away from the point of impact. They now seem to be reversing, flying directly back towards Lazarus and the spear. The figure too is drawn this way, apparently dragged from the center of his being back towards this same point. You will hear a voice on the wind.
Wait, no, help!
Before the figure, the shards, and the light all come back together at a single point. The light and the figure get sucked into this point. The shards, on the other hand, impale Lazarus. We'll end combat there.
Father? Father? Almost like
Lazarus
rush
with-
over.
Like turn towards you as you're running, kind of almost not believing the shards in his chest.
Susan and Riffin rush over as well.
Why'd
But
you
they
have to sell
stand-
the house? We could have sold it and gotten a diamond to bring you back to life. Don't die on me, Father. Please.
And Laz looks in shock and disbelief. He kind of looks up above you all. And then to Nevermore. It didn't matter. Someone had to. Someone else would have done it wrong. And he'll grasp at Nevermore's jacket and pull him closer. Nevermore. I love you.
Love you too, Father.
Make your own rules.
Already started.
I hope when I rest, I won't feel the shame.
I'll just kind of like, yeah. Just hold him. Not saying anything.
Nevermore, you cradle your father's body as the life slowly drains from him. It's very clear no healing will save this man. Susan and Riffin come and stand beside you, one on either side. Susan crouches down at Lazarus's feet, puts her hand on one of his talons, just smiles at him. Riffin,
I just don't even know what to say right now. Which is weird for me, because I always have something to say. And I don't feel like saying anything right now. So can somebody else say something, please? This is shit.
Riffin puts his hand on your shoulder, Nevermore, and says, "Aye, lad, this is shit. This is the other side. Your dad's final lesson to you. What's that rule? Sometimes you might lose someone.
Rule 3. Sometimes you might lose someone you love.
That bugger knew he'd do this. This was always his plan. You take something away from this lad, you take that. He knew that that would happen, and he made sure it was him. Y'all can think of him what you will. But he did this for us. So we didn't have to. You know, he didn't even
Sad.
tell anybody else what this would happen.
Sad I didn't get more time with him.
Aye.
This is what heroes do, right?
And Susan looks up and says, "Yes. This is what heroes do."
I already miss him.
Oh, come here. And she hugs you. And I think we'll leave it there. Oh,
No, my toy.
Did Helvig burst?
no.
He
Sorry, I
did?
want to be very clear. Helvig was sucked
Gosh,
back
dude.
into the point where the Borealis entered the aspect. He was... Jude, make an Arcana check.
This will go grand.
You'd have advantage in this.
Oh
No,
my
doesn't need it.
God.
Doesn't need it. This
The
is so
Helvig.
fucking perfect. I was
What
like,
the fuck?
well, I was
I
like, I'm gonna get them,
-2.
I'll get all three of them to make this wisdom save, and it was Jude who got it. I'm like, of course it was Jude who got it. Of course it was Jude who got this. You needed 16. You got 17. The other two did not. Then Jude gets an Arcana check, a perfect crit success to determine what happened. Helvig has been sucked back to the plane of fire, but he is there, Jude.
Okay. Jude is weeping. Like,
Yeah. That is the dice, or in this case, the digital randomizer, telling you the story perfectly.
Yeah.
Fucking love it when that happens. So, guys,
Oh, my.
oh, I want to thank
Has my
everybody for
father
watching. and
got any
playing.
good loot?
Oh, your father has got so much good shit on him, buddy. We will go through it
Did you
next
burst
week.
Diablo style into like ping, ping, ping?
Yeah, we will go through that next week. We will go through what loot there is.
Oh man.
I'd like to
the
thank
happy note
everybody.
is that Helvig is alive. That is a
Yeah,
happy.
Helvig is alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never take without first giving.
Yes, Dawn.
I would like to thank everybody for watching and playing. I want to thank the Deck of Many for what I hope you agree is a fantastic fucking book. That is the end of the book. Everything from here on is uncharted territory. That scene is in the book. It's actually even, yeah, and I love that I didn't have to tell Sean that that's the way that it's supposed to go. But it's beautiful. I'd like to thank Serum for his amazing work behind the scenes. You baiting, yeah. I want to thank Breepie, our fantastic artist. Their work is always top shelf. Unfortunately, Lazarus got a very limited run, but it was a beautiful piece of artwork that Breepie brought out for us. I hope you all agree. I want to thank our fantabulous sponsors, Wooten Forge, purveyors of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories. Oh, this will comfort me this evening. It is support from people like them that allows us to bring this kind of content. Please use Humble1, code Humble1 in their web store at woodenforge.com when you're buying your own beautiful wooden tabletop accessories. They also have merch. Go check it out. It's excellent. Now, as always, everybody, I'm going to get you to give me your favorite moments from the session. Chat, please throw your favorite moments up as well. I'd love to see what you guys thought of that. Who wants to go first?
My brain
Let's
hurts.
start off with Lazarus.
Laz, yeah.
Let's
I
start
feel like
with Sean's amazing work. 5 episodes,
Start where it
absolutely
finished.
bloody amazing, being a bad dad. But like ultimately, like he gave his life for his son, and he knew what he was doing. I want to be super clear. Lazarus knew that this would happen.
Yeah.
Because I told him earlier today. I told him
Serum
that if,
spot on.
like, the person who used it would probably die.
Hmm.
Sean, that is all. Yeah, dead set. So yeah, Sean, what was your favorite self moment?
I've just had a blast with y'all. That's what my favorite moment is. I've had so much fun with these sessions. Totally worth waking up super early for them. But yeah, I mean, I spent the last like half hour of the whole session being like, oh, what are you gonna say when you die? And thinking about that, I was like, in my head, I was like, you had this already prepared like 3 weeks ago, but you forgot all of it. But I really enjoyed just interacting with everyone in one way or another throughout the session. I liked telling Trish that Nevermore cannot by any means be anywhere near this
So good.
Borealis.
Irileth is going to be pissed her feeding trough is gone.
My favorite Sean moment and Lazarus moment was the line, "Make your own rules." Like, I
Yes.
was already crying because of what Jude's going through, but AJ cried at that point.
Yeah, solid work there. I actually really enjoyed the clarification regarding the cloaca. Like on a completely different note, the whole Nevermore leaps in and was like, all right, so boys have this and girls have this. And Lazarus goes, yeah, there's some like birds have different as well. I'm like, yes, that's what you do. Overload the intelligence person with the extra information.
Jude knows too much now.
Jude knows far too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
It went the other way. Now we have a different problem.
That was a lovely moment. Yeah.
So
My
good.
favorite Laz moment is doing the Misty step.
Fuck with Jude.
Yeah,
Yes.
to be like, oh, we gotta escape. No, muffins would be great. Like, oh, that's cute. I'm sad I'm not there to watch you.
I really liked Lazarus enlarging Jude. It's always fun when people do like an assist in battle, and that was really cool. I like that.
I just appreciated that Lazarus did look out for me by talking to Trish and mentioning this stuff. And you know, that does show that Lazarus cared. So yeah. I felt like you really did play Lazarus exactly how Lazarus was meant to be played, for sure. So
Yeah. Nelderberry, yes, it was. That would seem to be the case. Spina, can I just say on behalf of myself and chat, thank you, Sean, for seamlessly joining in on this campaign and just bringing so many gold moments into every story. Absolutely. I agree completely, Spina. Well said.
100%.
Yes, his last meal was a muffin. Have we got any others? Yeah, there are people that play characters and people that absorb the character and become them. Sean, you are a second one. Lazarus, in my mind, will always be this character that you have kneaded and molded. Absolutely. I had a vague idea of who he was. But, like, basically, you took everything that that Mitch and I had done and built so much more on it. We didn't know that Lazarus had a sassy, sarcastic comedy side to him, and it was great finding that out. That was like, yeah, completely three-dimensional character. Gorgeous work. Cool. Well, we've enlarged Sean's head enough. Right, let's do somebody else now.
Benneck.
Yeah, Benneck had a bit of a sesh. Go on. Favorite moment, Dan? Oh, Omi, favorite Laz, make your own rules. Yes. Apologize. Didn't see that.
So I'll say something that only probably I know, because I kind of came in because of how we kind of cut last episode. I was like, oh, that's pretty intense. And I foresaw where he was gonna go and spend his time, but I didn't expect him to be quite chill. Like quite like Anthasad time.
Yeah.
And like for everybody, and it's like I expect him to like lash out. I was prepared for it mentally as a player. Especially since, you know, he just like lost something incredibly precious to him, but he didn't, and that was like a nice surprise for me to see him just like take the reins for a bit, and was like, yeah, no, he probably wouldn't lash out now. No, it was nobody's fault. So
it was Susan's fault. But yes.
Not to him. No, say that.
Yeah, no. I apologize. We also had another one from Shanahos. Shanahos, Laz was the star of the show today, and Laz giving Trish the eyes was, yes, hilarious because Trish immediately misunderstood them. Yeah. Technically, Laz's gear is inheritance. Favorite Benneck, the Stairway to Heaven. Yes. Favorite Dan, Benneck surviving this. Well, favorite, not favorite. Oh, Serum, you naughty person.
Okay.
You. Yeah.
I really liked this is a Dan moment more than a Benneck. Oh, a bit of both. The recap, like a fucking film noir opening monologue, was so funny to me. Fucking
I should have
fantastic.
I should have given you a inspiration for it as a sort of film noir cutaway. Yeah, that was
So
very
good.
I really enjoyed I don't know what that picture is, what that little piece of paper in your spellbook was, and I don't know what it is, and I'm deeply curious. I very much want to know what that is. Yeah, that's a really interesting detail. That I'm just like, the DM is like, what is it? Fucking tell me.
That's what you get for killing my character and not giving me time to give you a spiel. Now you don't get to know anything, Josh.
Yeah, but like, but the like getting to be the dean with you and work out that like I don't need to know, but what does the dean know what it is and why you would be so distraught about this, and you allowing me in there to let the dean help you and let the dean comfort you a bit was really cool. Yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, like, it was really cool to see Benneck being vulnerable in front of the dean in that way. And I loved it all. I loved it all, especially because, like, the one thing that Benneck has been so devoted to watching Laz, and this is clearly so much more important with how quickly he dropped that. You know, he put him in safe hands with Trish, who consequently put him in safe hands with Jude, but still.
He didn't get away.
Safe hands, yes.
Jude did a great job. Lazarus is still there.
Yeah.
Jude's good at her job.
Yeah.
I have to piggyback on the vulnerability with the dean. Seeing Benneck sad and like teary was a new side to Benneck that I don't think we've explored yet. We still don't know that much about Benneck, and I'm very excited to see what else we can discover. But that was truly a insight into his character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna roll with the combat and the daggers in it as you like ran your way up its body. I think that was freaking dope. Like being on it at the very top of it. Yeah, that was really cool.
I particularly liked it because mechanically there's no advantage.
But like you've got to do.
You can
cool
stab it in the neck,
shit.
you can stab it in the leg, and it doesn't matter. It still takes the damage one way or the other mechanically. But it's far more cool.
Shit,
it's far more. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to do cool shit. And yeah, that was definitely points for cool shit and rule of cool. And that's why I was just like, you know what? Yeah, he can have this kill. There you go.
Yay.
Like, because the acrobatics, I was like, look, that's exactly what he got last time. You know what? I want this to happen. You climb that thing. I'll let's say you got the run up this time. Yeah. That was super cool. What's the we've had a couple more from chat. Nelderberry, Nelderberry. Benneck losing his composure about losing the spell book but keeping the parchment. Yeah, that was really good.
I was quite worried. I was like, oh no, it's in there. And I was like, wait, it's not magical. I need to clarify this.
Eye of the Night, that was an awesome stream. Thank you, Eye of the Night. I'm pretty happy with that one. Seeing Eliza's homeland would be cool. Yeah, or potentially adventures. Serum76, favorite Benneck. Yep, I just wanted to jump on that bandwagon. Vulnerable Benneck was like when the new character appears in a book out of nowhere and you need to know more. I particularly enjoyed it because we know so much about the others. I would say we know less about Benneck almost than we know about Lazarus, because we've been learning about Lazarus through Nevermore and through World Lore for 2 seasons. Benneck is an almost complete unknown, and it yeah, I think it highlights the difference of how little we know about him to how much we know about everybody else because of how much we know, but also because he's a very closed and sort of private person. So
He's always been a very
really cool.
particular way, and then all of a sudden, bam! It's like, whoa.
Cool.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
cool.
Let's talk about somebody else. Dan was excellent. We love him. All right. Let's talk about Rach. Favorite Rachel moments.
I have one, but
performance
Rach.
check with steals.
My favorite bit about that, and it's not going to be my favorite moment, I'll say a different one, but my favorite bit about that was the fact that you like disappointed when you got really high and he got really low, and you're like, oh great, looks like
Typical.
I had a pretty ordinary piece. Yeah, it was like men. And I was like, no, it's a combined thing. You both had reasonable sex. You both had a 12. You don't know each other super well. He's not familiar with you. So, you're still learning each other's body. Maybe go back for another swing. I don't know. I'll give you advantage. You did just save the word. Cool.
I absolutely love just the sheer... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go first.
I was gonna say the sheer panic on Trish's face through the entire chase scene was just like I felt every second of it, and I felt like I was in your shoes as you're absolutely panicked through that whole encounter. It was really, really good.
And the beginning of it as well, how it all kicked off with you just yelling, running out into the open, just being like, "You big stupid beast, set me on fire!" This little map hatch is 30-foot tall. Yeah, I thought that was quite cool. Typical brave Trish. Nervously brave Trish.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, something that's already been mentioned was the eye thing, but I'd like to bring up the whole you attacked it first and it's like, guys, it's hot.
And Riffin's sassing you. It's like, your friends are stupid.
All knowledge is good knowledge, man. We've been over this.
That was great. I had a favorite Trish. My favorite Trish was defaulting immediately to party healer. Like, oh, Jude's down again. I guess I'm not doing any more damage to this fight. Jude, get up. Oh, dead again. All right.
It's gotta be done.
I think Jude needs to multi-class into something useful.
Yeah, that's one thing Jude can
No,
do to be
keep at
useful.
it.
You could take the toughness feat, maybe.
Yeah.
Get
Just
the toughness
increase the
feat,
amount of
that'll
hit
give you
points
some
you
extra
have.
hit points, yeah.
That might be a good idea.
Do we have any other favorite Trish moments? No. Alrighty, we've got some from chat, I'm sure. Favorite Rachel, her insane ability to roll good. Roll after roll after roll. Yeah, that was very frustrating. I was like, I really want to hit her with a fireball at least once before she actually gets to the fight. I was like, I did have a perfectly serviceable Phil Gart there, but I don't want to be the chase scene, but it's gonna be the chase scene and the spontaneous free battle lay. Yeah, free battle lay. Paladin is very useful, you just need more con. Lizelle, very true.
Someone's
The
mentioned
Riffin
it,
and
but-
Nevermore, that's not even the stupid one.
No one's mentioned it, but like the aftermath of the cocktail date and just be like, yeah, it's fine. I take a bath and then come down like, hey, is this a muffin? Oh jeez.
Yes. And Serum says, favorite Trisha being so much of a better lover than the other guy. Yeah. Are we in any way surprised that Trish is a very competent lover? Not shocked. Alrighty. Let's talk about...
But not
Yeah.
shocked.
Yeah. Let's talk about Mitch. Let's talk about Nevermore.
Let's talk about Mitch, baby.
Baby.
I liked, and Shanna stole it already before I even got there. With
She's not
Riffin-
even the stupid one.
Yeah, she's not even the stupid one. That was just an instinctual and obvious response for Nevermore, I feel. But it was really good that I'm glad that I had a goodbye scene with my father. And it wasn't just him being obliterated and me being like, So that was, I feel like that's going to help Nevermore grow quite a bit. Just because of the words that Riffin had for Nevermore, and saying, he was, he did it for everybody and he did it for you, kind of thing. So I think that's going to change Nevermore's perspectives considerably. But it's going to be a big moving session for Nevermore.
Yeah.
I love that you insulted Trish on how she gave the sex talk and then struggled to give the sex talk yourself. It was painful not to laugh at the situation.
Yeah.
I almost spat my tea all over my computer.
I was like, I've got this.
Funny.
I don't got this. I don't
got this.
Dad.
Wrong lever.
Bouncing off that, I love the frank talk with Irilath afterwards. Like, no, I didn't start strong. Don't give me credit where it's not due. I fucked up. That was pretty funny.
She has a habit of inflating your ego, even when she's wrong. Like, I don't trust her, because she's complimenting you on stupid stuff.
She's in his head.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Maybe it's me complimenting me on stupid stuff.
And she knows what he would like to have said to him, so she says it.
That's healthy.
That's suspicious as fuck.
You don't know this.
Yeah.
None of
It's
you know what you
healthy.
say.
Trish knows. Trish is right. It's healthy. It's fine.
Irilath, Nevermore, you hear Irilath in your head going, it's totally healthy. We have a very healthy relationship.
Of course we
friends
do.
are wrong.
What are you talking about?
Your friends are wrong and you should betray them.
They don't know.
Well,
Sorry?
dependency. She's
I was just
creating
gonna say.
dependency.
She doesn't say that. That's not toxic at all. Ragnar64, Mitch's quick serenade before explaining the Jews theory.
I was like,
That's
we're
not helpful.
musical. Everyone just starts dancing.
Yeah.
When a man loves
It's
a
Venice.
woman.
Jude sings at least once a session. I really love that you cast Stellar Bodies and missed with it.
Yeah, look, I've had
Still
that
got one and
spell,
it's
and
not going.
I'm like, in between turns, I'm regularly just like flipping through my spell sheet, flipping through my items, flipping through everything, trying to make sure I like remember stuff. And I've had that on my mind for ages. I was like, now's the opportunity to finally like use it.
Totally
And it
was.
fucking just, it just blew it.
Missed,
But,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
The Borealis was a bit of a non-starter as well. Like you went for the usage of several things from the Borealis, and I'm just like, meh. But then you got it. Nevermore got in some big hits. Nevermore knocked off. It had 200 hit points. Nevermore knocked out like 40 in the first 2 rounds just with his 2 fireballs. He got this would have been a lot harder without Nevermore around, or even just Nevermore with fire stuff. Cool. Anything else? Anybody else?
My favorite Nevermore moment, as much as it's like not fun, but just the end with Laz, just letting you two have that moment, and then just watch, and like just the first opening line is just like trying to make light of the situation and being like, why do you have to sell the house? Paid for it, like the diamond to get you back. And I'm like, it's still Nevermore, but wow.
I also like piggybacking off of that, and someone said it, Omi said it in chat also, is just like when Nevermore was like, I don't know what to say, someone else say something. I thought that was really nice, because I feel like that's how everyone really would react in that moment, is just I don't know what I can say.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw out a favorite. It's a favorite join Sean and Mitch moment. And it's that scene. But it's the fact that I was able to, I knew that I didn't have to write a darn thing for what anybody was going to say there. I did not pre-prepare Riffin or Susan. I just knew that you guys would give me enough that I could roll with it and say what needed to be said in that moment, because you would set it up for me. And I was just like, it's so easy to have confidence and faith in your players when it's you two. Well, you five, but in this moment, you two, that you were just like, this will not be hard. I will not struggle to think of something to say. I'll struggle to keep my voice steady when I say it. But yeah, you guys just laid it out so beautifully. It was such an easy thing to do. So well done. We have a few from chat. Mitch's quick serenade before explaining the Jews. Favorite Nevermore? Yeah, as we've said, I got nothing to say. Someone else say something. Thanks for the save there, Winter's Tales. Small Town Creepy. I completely spaced out on the way on what day it was. Oh, okay. Never mind. You can watch the VOD. It was good. It was good. All right. Favorite. I think we need down to Jude. Favorite
Jude.
AJ moments.
I think my favorite Jude moment today was internal, and I don't know if it was like very present, but Jude learning about everything and having her little internal freak out.
Yeah.
That's a big character step for Jude, and that's going to alter Jude a little bit. So I think playing with that was really interesting, of me being like, how would Jude react to this? You know, just staring at Trish, knowing things but not saying anything, which is not very Jude. Yeah. I think that has to be it. I think it's the internal side of me processing Jude's learning. Nothing like big or awesome or funny, but that sort of character development, I guess.
I would disagree. I wouldn't say it was like, it was definitely funny. It was definitely also, I would say, awesome, because it's a very deep piece of character work. Like you genuinely considered how Jude would react to that piece of information, and it was like delivered in a particularly non-standard way. It would have been hard to predict that you would have gotten that much information. So
you nailed a particular look that I don't think I've seen before, and that's kind of, I put down confused revelation. Just like you've realized it, and you're like, what? And you just had this like look on your face that I just put down straight away, confused revelation. That was great.
My favorite moment of Jude was the taunt.
Yeah.
What was the word you said? I've got something or another.
Boogers.
Boogers. And I'm like, okay.
Everyone was like, what? I think it's like something.
The fire was also like,
yeah, the fire element was like, well, now I need to know. And that's why it was like, I'm gonna find out what Gujus are.
I think it's maybe the Gerbine equivalent of cooties.
Sure.
Something her brother.
I had to assume it was related to what you've learned today.
Yeah. I no, it's more like her brothers always told her she had it, or like she as like a poke fun at her for it.
Yeah,
I think it's a real thing. I think Jude
it's
thinks
something
it's
you
a real
can't
thing.
control. Yeah.
it's more of a AJ moment than a Jude moment, but really double checking how big Jude was after being enlarged. I'm like, but am I taller than Nevermore?
This is important.
I really liked I really liked your reaction to seeing Helvig. I feel like I've been traumatized all over again. That was horrifying. Just your face in that moment. Jesus. Yeah.
And
Oh God.
speaking of face in that moment, the lay on hands when you're a large Jabin, just your face right up in the camera.
Lassie.
That's great. That was great.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say the reaction to Helvig, because that was just very authentic and real and a good moment. But for something else, I mean, even despite her going through a crisis of realization, still holding a sword up to Laz's throat, I thought that was so funny and such a good choice there. Just to be like completely like, nope, it's still not okay. You still can't do whatever you want. That was really
I
good.
like to remember that I'm 2 foot something and you're 6 foot something.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's
Like the sword's just like
It just reaches his clavicle.
just reaches
Yeah.
his neck. It's like right at his like point here.
Yeah.
I just kind of. Yeah, no, you go because you haven't said it.
No. Please proceed, because I was just about to dive into the Josh moments. But
Oh,
I haven't
I'll
said
go
it
for
Jude yet.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
said you. What I was just gonna say was I just realized that didn't Jude just like kind of reconcile that Helvig's dead?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
it's like, actually, he's not dead. Psych, could like feel the
And
feels
I'm
again.
the only one that saw you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jude's
My
mind's
favorite
blocked.
Jude moment was I can't really go beyond that look. Actually was the realization, the oh shit, that's Helvig. Oh no. It was you rolling the 17 and then rolling the 18 Arcana. I was just like, oh fuck yes. I don't like congratulating somebody for luck, but yeah, that was perfect. And yeah, it was so narratively perfect. And your reaction to this, and also that it bled into the fact that, you know, Lazarus is lying there dead, Nevermore is crying over his wounded father, and Jude is silent. This is something where Jude would normally tell a story or sing a song or pray to Gaspard or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Start trying to say something, maybe like fix it. No, nothing, not a word. So there was a few Jude moments. Favorite Jude was Jude after the hookup, presumably not her hookup. We need an enlarged Jude. Hang on, where are we? Favorite AJ, having the faith in her clan to not use the reroll for his reroll D6. That's trust from your group and players. Yeah, Normus didn't pay out for her. Oh man, if Benneck takes Lazarus' spellbook to replace his old one. He's got a new one now though, and it's
I
almost as good
can't
as his old
possibly
one.
do that while Nevermore's around.
This is it. It's
Nor
Nevermore's
is eating him
inheritance.
on the menu.
Yes, you are not going to be eating my father.
I have
Favorite Jude,
another.
Discuss the spellbook.
I have a funny moment because
Ah.
everyone's internal, but I have a funny moment was cut from Trish having a bath or Irilath having a bath with Nevermore to me looking Laz dead in the eyes and being like, there's so much sweat. We are
Oh.
creatures.
Yeah.
Laz just being like, yes, it's vigorous.
that was a great scene.
I've loved Lazarus as a aside, just his little like, yes. Actually, give her credit. That's it is an apt metaphor. I'll give her that. Was I think my favorite Lazarus line of all time. That was just like oh, so good. All right. Well, we should move on
Favorite
from
Josh.
here now.
Never get away.
Do you mind if I come straight out of the gates before you even say anything, Josh? I don't think
Bring it.
your favorite moment's going to be the same as mine. Killing Phil.
I knew you would.
That was
Oh
my
my
favorite.
God.
That was my favorite
You're
DM
horrible.
Why do you hate
moment.
Phil so
Why
much?
do you
You know
hate
nothing
Phil?
about this man. I killed him so that this would be over.
There was a gap in my heart as long as he lived, and now you filled that gap.
And we filled it.
Thank you.
That soft dog.
Ironically, my favorite moment was going to be giving this character a much-deserved heroic send-off.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
that's that.
deserved it. So much
He did.
Phil Garp slander. He died a
Yeah.
hero.
He did. He saved
He
Trish's
tripped
life.
over. He fucking tripped over a rock.
Oh,
And
we
we
didn't.
and
We didn't.
no, that's what I.
Heroically
That's what I
Trish.
think.
Trish tripped
Yeah.
over.
Rock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes.
I must say, letting me do the stupid shit. Normally, you lure me into doing stupid shit, but this time I offered you the
Didn't have
stupid
to-
shit, and you were like,
I
yes.
was like, go on then. I mean, I'm always going to let you do the stupid shit. I normally have to bait you into it. Not this time. I was like, oh, good, Dan. Thank you. Yes.
The fact that you played porn in Jude's mind,
Yes.
the Iralath just gave me all of the knowledge I needed about sex at once.
Too much.
Cool. Cool.
Definitely too much.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Omi.
I don't think
Uh,
Jude was ready.
The spellbook scene with Benneck when the epic hero block from Riffin
Yeah.
was like a badass. Yeah.
Oh,
That was
Riffin
cool.
coming back.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Riffin was always coming back. He was just coming back in his own sweet time, damn it.
The
Had
entrance,
to be
though.
epic. Yeah, the
Mm.
entrance was good.
Yeah, you did well.
He was a bit shit in the fight. What the hell? He did not touch
He was
it.
missing a lot, but I
He
appreciated
missed every
the
single hit.
the dice roll streak was extending to the aspect. So
Yeah, no,
was okay with that.
and then I got a couple of good ones.
he did crit. He
What
did
I
crit on me.
what I did manage to do though several times was recharge that 5 or 6. Like he threw magma 4 times
Yeah.
in that fight. That was a lot, and that's his big attack. And I had to start remembering to use his legendary actions as well. Should have used his legendary resistances. He had 3 of them too, but I never did. Yeah, he's a tough boy. I did crank up his hit points a bit. He actually only supposed to have like 175. I just was like, let's put an even 200. These guys are hardcore. Technically speaking, it is a CR 12 creature.
Damn.
That you
Jesus.
brought down. It wasn't. You managed to keep it away from the trees because it can heal itself in them trees.
Ooh.
Just smart of you as well. My favorite meme moment, because I'm obliged to give one, is the. I really enjoyed the Helvig bit of popping Helvig back in there. That was just describing that scene was super cool, and I really enjoyed the
Beautiful.
dropping that Helvig's still alive. Well, Helvig, I want to be clear, isn't alive,
Traumatizing
but he
Jude Part
is on the plane of fire.
I was like, wait, was he big? Like as big as?
He started
The
out
aspect of
big.
fire?
The shadow, his outline was big, and then it shrank down as he became more like visually real.
And
It was just an outline, and then it became very real. And then he got like tugged from the core of his being. And you remember that when Helvig got pulled into the plane of fire, it was very much from a tugging sensation in the core of his stomach. And it gets pulled in. We've got a few from
Josh.
chat. Yes.
Are we next episode? Are we jumping in where we're left off, or is there a time
Yes.
jump?
There will be no time jump.
Okay, cool.
Is that all right, or would you like a time?
Yeah,
jump?
no. I just want to know. I just kind of wanted to have an idea of like what the
Jude's
fuck
emotional
Jude's
state,
gonna
like,
do
where's
with
Jude gonna
this
be?
right now.
Okay. Yeah. Have a think about that. We will be starting exactly where we're leaving it.
Okay,
Okay. Why are you making pacts with the aspect of fire, dude?
Favorite DM moment was Josh in the whole ending fight scene. That was amazing. Well done, friend. Thanks, Bina. Omi, favorite Josh, the spellbook scene with Benneck and the epic hero block from Riffin like a bass ass. Yeah, it's like a bouse. When Josh got a little choked up at the Lazarus scene. Yeah. Oh my God. Well, not intended, but Susan, I was like, I'm going to switch to Susan. She'd be crying. Iralath teaching was like, I know Kung Fu for the Matrix. Yes. It's like, boom, now you know it all. Hell yeah, Ragnar. What did Ragnar? Yes. Kudo the Shiny Dino. Now that the aspect of fire is slain, Helvig is now free with the fire plane. He'll probably be with Pia now. He might be. Serum,
He
favorite
doesn't
serum.
have to
Josh
eat.
bringing us emotionally back full circle to the old days of emotional turmoil from season 1 and 2. Yeah, you're welcome. Cool. Alrighty.
Just one last final thing. I just wanted to say that your dialogue at the end there with Riffin and Susan is definitely going to, I feel like it shaped how Nevermore's going to view the death of his father. Without that, Nevermore would have been an absolute shambles, but now he's got this idea of his father in his head. So just that dialogue that Riffin and Susan had was spot on. So anyway, proceed.
Yeah. No, that was cool.
You have my blessings. You can continue, pleb.
But like I said, you guys set it up. I just knocked it down. All right. Now, please, everybody, if you've enjoyed, follow, and I hope you have, follow and subscribe, and don't forget you can also check out all the eps you've missed on YouTube. We have several other things going on the channel at the moment. We have One Shot Wednesdays. We'll be coming back not this Wednesday or the Wednesday after, but 2 Wednesdays from now. We will be having the Avatar crew will be returning for a 6-shot every other Wednesday for 11 weeks. And we also on Friday evenings for Americans or Saturday mornings for us Aussies, we will be having the wonderful Sean O'Donovan will be coming to run I think it's a 3-shot in the Quest system, which is going to be exciting, in which me and Whistle and Shannon from Paradise RPG and Rogue Uzu will be playing. Don't know what it's about yet. Really excited to find out that. That's filling in the TSA slot on Saturday mornings, AWST, starting at 9 a.m. here or 9 p.m. if you live in the States, or if you live in it's Pacific
East
Standard
Coast.
Time or Eastern Standard Time, US. And if you want to check out more good more good D&D content, and you want to at other times of your life, then please jump on over to my new channel, Corsairs Cove. We will be having a massive charity stream on Sunday, this Sunday, at 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. Sean will be joining us. Rachel will be joining me in the morning. You two will be. AJ will be DMing the middle game at 2 p.m. our time. And Dan will be playing in the evening game. And then if you want some more Mitch in your life, you can come back on Corsairs Cove on Wednesday night, where we will be having Bizarro Humblewood. So these characters, but flipped and monstrous.
But Jude knows
so,
all about sex.
And where Jude now
Jude
knows
Fox!
all about it. Yeah.
Fox in that game.
That's
That
bizarre.
one, you're allowed to be the kinky AJ Winters, all right? That's the one. Oh my
Jude.
God.
God
All right,
damn.
amazing. And starting up in a couple of weeks, in fact, it'll be on the 23rd of September, Humblewood Season 4 over on Corsairs Cove, featuring the wonderful Mother of Bunnies as Kesh. Will be starting up an alternate world, so it's running in exactly the same world, alternate crew. So the events of today will very much shape the events in that second season. That will be over on Corsairs Cove on Thursday evenings. Guys, please tell me who you are and where we can find you. Rachel, we'll start with you.
Hello, my name is Rachel Foucar. I'm a writer, actor, creative trash at large. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Rachel Foucar. And you can find the sci-fi book that I wrote, The Rings of Mars, right here on this the internet, if you want to do that.
Fantastic. Marvelous. Thank you very much. Mitch, tell me about yourself.
Hello, I'm Mitchell Peter Earnshaw. And yeah, there you go. You know my middle name.
Floor
I'm
drop.
mumbling a
Floor
little bit
drop.
at the moment.
Floor
Yes, in
drop.
chat.
Yeah,
drop.
you can find me on the Twitter, Mitch_Earnshaw, where I just shitpost and have a good time. And you can find me here every Monday, pretty much every Monday, having an amazing time with this crew. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks. Thank you, Peter. Dan, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dan. I am D-Rep on Twitch chat and other places like the Discords. Come hang out. But otherwise, I don't really do much in the cyberspace because I'm a meat space person. And I'm just dreading for every Monday's Humblewood when Josh will like make 2 characters exist at the same time, and I'll probably have to repeat both of them. That's what I'm prepared for.
You only had to say one line.
No, but in the future, it's gonna happen. I can sense it. But that's it. Come hang out, as my Yeehaw wizard man probably won't eat a legendary wizard.
Monster. Yep. AJ, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm AJ Winters. I am a DM and storyteller and world builder over on Winter's Tales. I make world building videos once a week where I'm building a world one step at a time that I'll host and DM a game in next year, and I'm very pumped for it. So if you want to go check that out, latest episode was out on Sunday. It is about fantasy transportation. I like it. It's fun. Go check it out.
Are there sky whales with gondolas?
No, but there is one-wheeled motorbikes that are powered by magic.
I'll allow it. All right, Sean, tell us about yourself and where we can find you.
Hello, everybody. I am Sean O'Donovan. I am all sorts of things over at Paradise RPG, primarily a dungeon master for our homebrew world of Aradun over there. I have been a bad dad on 2 lifetimes here on Roll for Damage as Lazarus, who has seen his end, and Auric on Fridays, typically for the Scales Above. And yes, I will be guiding. You're called the guide in Quest. The story for Quest next this Friday for this 3-shot, which is taking place in my science fantasy version of my homebrew world.
Cool.
Solar punk themed. It's gonna be fun.
Solar punk.
Solar punk? Oh, that's dope.
Yes. That actually will very much inform my character choice. I don't want to be a naturalist anymore. I want to be the magician.
I need to know more about this.
I need to know more about
Oh,
this.
God.
I'll
Tune
be
in Saturday morning.
Sending you some information later today, Josh.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Please do.
Alrighty. And Madame and Monsieur Dama under Heron and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I am Josh the Pirate, and I've been your humble DM and storyteller this evening. If you've enjoyed my face and voice tonight, you can find me in Paparotica at Fringe World and generally infesting the art scene in Perth. I also have my own new channel, which I talked about earlier. We've got a massive 12-hour charity stream for International Talk Like a Pirate Day, so please come over and watch us at twitch.tv/Corsairs Cove between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. AWST. We've got Phoenix Iwaki coming. We've got Sean coming. We've got Carney Sideshow. Chris from Carney Sideshow will be joining us. We've got the Dead Aussie Gamer is going to be coming and playing with us. We've got a couple of people from Eldritch Scribe. AJ and Daria are coming to play with us. We've got a lot of people coming to play with us. I'm very popular. So yeah, it's really exciting to have you guys all coming. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. So please come check that shit out. We've got some amazing prizes from Roll with Advantage, the lovely dice company over in Melbourne. They have sent us like nearly $200 worth of dice. So there's plenty of prizes to go around. Gonna be awesome. Alternatively, if you like my majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, I am also part of the There Be Dragons crew. We are a 5e D&D podcast in a fantasy gunpowder setting where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Sken. Felspar, are you turning it down or up? What are you doing?
Down for what?
Down.
Down the face.
That's down. That's up.
Where I sorry, why did I not know that? It's because you reverse. The camera reverses you. Where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Sken, Felspar, and his little dragon Crush. Well, that was fun for everybody. Let's see who's online because we got to go raid somebody, and I think we're going to have to resort to our regular raiding friend, Agent Number 1, because we love Agent. Agent is currently playing Total War Warhammer 2, which is what I might spend the rest of my evening doing. So we were going to raid Agent Number 1. So guys, show him some love in chat. Tell him where you found him. Throw up your favorite raid emotes, and we will be back. Same bat time, same bat channel for Humblewood Ep 3, Season 3 Ep 3, next Monday night at 8 p.m. It's been a genuine pleasure hanging out with all of you guys. So yeah, we will go away from here now. Oh, something went wrong again. I think he's probably just logged off, you know.
That's what happened last time, right?
Yeah.
It is. We normally end at
Redirect.
almost exactly the same time as him. So I'm now going to find somebody else to raid.
Labagino is playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Isn't Fried Dice
Frappuccino.
Paradise?
Fried Dice Paradise? or Flabberchino. Both sound good. Let's do one of them. All right, let's try a different raid. Flabberchino.
Flabberchino.
Flabberchino playing Dungeons and
Movies.
Dragons. Let's do that. All right, start a raid.
Flabberchino.
Yeah.
Something around this.
I need to know what a flabberchino is.
Peace out, Brussels sprouts. All
We ready?
right, Vegemite.
Yeah, okay, now we're trying to raid agent number 1. Oh,
Raiding,
goodness sakes.
raiding, doing the
Take care
raiding
of
song.
yourselves. If it's like
Take care,
time is
guys.
running
Thank
out,
you so
Everybody
much
can
for hanging
still
out with
hear
us.
us.
We're gonna go away from here now.
Everybody
Say
can
goodbye,
hear us.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.